Fuck it. Matt, I don't care anymore. What game?
Now they know his name.
Hello, this is the Stage
Hello.
One podcast. You're listening to the Stage One podcast.
That's it.
You're listening to real
We're in it now.
Hi, welcome to
real
NPR
ASMR
Channel
hours
2.
right here.
We're in it. This is it. This is the podcast.
Yeah, this is it. This
Yeah,
is
this is
Stage
what
One
it's
podcast. My name is Matt Cutts. To my left.
I have AIDS. No. My name is Nephra.
Yay.
And to my left,
It is I, Kevin.
God, Jesus Christ.
And to my left.
Hi, I'm Joe Kwasinski. I'm Luke. And I realized that my
Which
headphones
the
are playing
fuck is
music,
it?
and I've unplugged my aux cord very professionally. Okay, what's the topic of today? What are we doing? Matt, this is
I'm
you.
not the host, man.
Yes, you are.
I can intro.
You're
oh,
technical.
goddamn
You're a
it.
technical
Okay.
assistant. You're
You're the sound guy.
Everything.
Nefra's in charge of studies indoors, and you're in charge of everything else.
Yes. So the impression I got was we're going to be talking about games coming out in 2018. Year of our Lord.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got a list.
We have a list. We have 10 games. We're gonna kind of run through them pretty fast and hopefully not take 4 hours doing it.
Yay.
Those games are Sea of Thieves, A Way Out, Far Cry 5, God of War, Red Dead 2, Spider-Man, Detroit Become Human, Days Gone, Last of Us 2, and Death Stranding.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, there's very few games on that list that I'm like so hyped for. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel some years you come in and you're like, let's go. Like, what's coming out?
Like
And-
last year?
I mean, what was it? I mean, yeah, last year had a great kind of like lineup, but last year
was
pretty good for
above
gaming.
average, some
Yeah,
might say.
yeah.
The game?
I mean,
it was,
still, it's pretty good considering the
Oh, it's
current
very
climate.
good.
yeah, some of my
Wait, Monster
favorite
Hunter
games
this
came out. Yeah, they came out this year.
Sorry, go on. I didn't mean to cut.
Yeah, but yeah, last year was like some of my favorite games ever. But
Yeah.
this year,
Divinity Original Sin 2.
yes. It was underrated too, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't hear many people talk about it, really.
Yeah, there's
No, that's fair, I
a
guess.
lot of coverage. Of
I'm
that.
still playing on it. I have over 100 hours on it already.
Christ.
We had like
Divinity.
we had like
That's
a lot of cool
damage.
shit.
Oh shit, can we say that?
No.
Oh,
That's a
fuck.
lot of damage.
Get out of here.
You know what? No, fuck it. The audience is gonna have to learn. That's the one in-joke that I will not forgo for anyone. That's a lot of damage will be protected. And it will remain, and you will adapt, audience. You will be left
You will
behind.
adapt.
You know, that was the fucking motto of my old school, adapt or die. Because our principal said it in a speech, and it just caught on. That adapt or
Oh
die
my
became
God.
the thing. Anyway, sorry. Games.
Alright, games.
How do you
What
feel
happens
about
when you-
pirates?
Yes.
How do you like pirates?
I like pirates.
I do
Pirates
like
are my
pirates.
jam.
Pirates are pretty neat.
Pirates are cool. How do you feel about Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts?
Oh, get the fuck out of here. God.
Game of the year.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it's no neck too, but it's pretty good.
Rare is making Sea of Thieves. What day is today? Is it 11?
Did they?
But
wait,
Sea of Thieves is
did
coming
they
out in like a
make-
little over
Did
a
they
month.
make
Yeah.
nuts and bolts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they-
Banjo-Kazooie
yeah,
people.
Jesus
They made, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The entire Banjo-Kazooie.
from what I've
They
seen-
also made such hallowed games as Connect Sports and Connectimals.
Oh.
Question mark.
Okay, listen. Connectimals was pretty good.
The Nintendogs of Connectimals.
Yeah.
Listen, from your cool boy Netra. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. When I say it's pretty good, it's pretty good.
But like, you guys have seen the trailers for Sea of Thieves, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Have
remember
you
the-
played the beta?
I've seen
I really
some
wanted to.
gameplay. It looks. I mean, like, I don't know if there's enough to do. Is my worry. Like, because a lot of it is aesthetic, right? Like, there's not a lot of kind of leveling up and development. In
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah, that's
So I
what
think
people have been
As far
saying
as
since
I
they
know,
announced
there
that
isn't
game.
like a lot of RPG elements in it, like leveling up or whatever. But it's more about like the co-op experience.
Yeah, it's gonna
Playing
be
with
about
your-
screwing around with friends and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like say GTA Online except not shitty.
But there's so much. But the thing is, GTA is so filled with stuff.
And
It's
GTA
so much
has
stuff.
like a reward treadmill longer than the
Yeah.
fucking
It
spin of the
does.
moon. You know,
It
like you can play
does.
GTA Online for 50 hours and still be getting bigger,
Mhm.
better cars.
50, yeah, way more.
Oh yeah, totally.
That
Yeah,
game
but
goes
well, I
forever.
mean, yeah,
people
but
do.
the problem with GTA is, at least for now, it's become like a grind machine to the point where you would only play with
It's
friends.
not become a grind machine, it's become a cash cow. That's what it is.
That's true.
I mean, it's just, GTA has gone to the point now where.
I mean, I don't think Sea of Thieves is gonna be like that at
No,
all.
not at all.
No, it won't.
No,
But,
Well, that's what I
and
mean,
it makes
like,
me
it's
feel
gonna be-
kind of bad because I don't want to say that like every game needs a progression loop. You know, like
Yeah.
like that seems kind of constrictive, but also I kind
Yeah, like
There probably is gonna be.
yeah,
I
probably.
doubt that they're gonna market this game so heavily and not put one in.
I mean,
to
they
keep
have been
players-
though. They've been marketing that game, and the marketing of that game has been watch these YouTubers fall off the ship and
yeah,
laugh.
that's true.
yeah.
But like, there's probably ways to like build up your ship more and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, but then the developers go out there and are making statements like, "We don't want to have too many upgrades that impact gameplay."
Yeah.
because
They
it's
don't want like
PvP.
But
imbalance.
why don't just go the TF2 route of side grades? Like,
I don't know.
Side grades are such a great solution to that. Like in Team Fortress, the stock is like generally the most viable option unless you're going for a really weird meta. And like Sea of Thieves, like if they put in the effort, you could have a whole weird expansive side grades where it's like, wow, if you use like this like wheel combined with these like set of cannons, like there is a lot of potential there for cool stuff that's not necessarily straight buffs.
And not even stuff that could be used in PvP, but Sea of Thieves has like a fun world. It's cool. It looks cool. I want to see more of it. And there are upgrades like in Black Flag, Assassin's Creed 4, like the diving bell. I think the diving bell would be rad. Like,
yeah, for
like
sure.
it's a thing that doesn't really impact PvP, but you could just say, I have less cannons on my ship, and now I have this weird little bell that I can dump off the side, and
Yeah.
we're better at going to sunken ships for treasure. Like, that's our thing.
Absolutely, yeah. And like, yeah, well, like you say, like specializing in
Yeah.
being like, or
Make your ship yours.
yeah, are you
Yeah.
a pirate? Are you like a trade? Kind of
Yeah.
online in that
Yeah.
sense. Like,
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of room for that. But I
Sid
don't
Meier's
know-
Pirates, like the classic pirate games, like
But if
you
you
can get
if you-
galleons, take off cannons,
Yeah.
have room for more crates for money.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, if you go down the route of aesthetics, going back to TF2, you have to establish a culture of like your aesthetics are like your level, and like you need to have like super rare items and have like
Sea of
almost,
Thieves
like,
needs hats.
Looks cool.
It needs hats. It does. It does. It needs like pirate outfits that are like urban legends, and you see a guy in it, you're like, oh fuck, we gotta go. Like,
That would be cool, actually.
Yeah.
That's
Like
so good.
different
His
kinds
ship
of
has a hat.
like different
Yeah.
kinds of no, I was gonna say like different kinds of flags and pennants because like different pirates back in the day used to have different flags.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Blackbeard had a different flag than Henry Avery did.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would be cool
But
if
then
you
just
could.
make them like super crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
that'd be a really good way of incentivizing without straight upgrades.
Yeah, without hurting the PvP aspect of the game.
Yeah, but man, like how do you get a culture like that?
I don't know. It strikes me as the game that will be really good in a year. Maybe a year.
Yeah.
Like next November,
Through
Sea of Thieves will be
updates and
awesome.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if
yeah.
they support that game well, it could be great.
Honestly, I really hope they do. 'Cause
Yeah.
it just looks
Well,
like
I
so
think-
much fun. Like a game to just screw around with friends.
What else is Microsoft going to spend money on?
Exactly.
Like
Forza?
that's one of their own exclusives this year.
Forza.
Like they're
Forza?
they
Does
need
anyone
to-
care about Forza?
Wait, who makes that game?
Rare.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Sea of Thieves,
Rare.
yeah.
We went over this. Is that a Microsoft property?
Yeah,
Or-
Rare,
They've been
yeah,
owned
Rare.
by Microsoft
Yeah.
for like 12 years, I
Mhm.
think.
Rest in
It was
peace.
since the 360.
God, Jesus Christ.
Rip and
Yep.
pepperones.
Yep, ripping pepperonis.
Yeah, people have talked about it, but this is their first game that wasn't a
Their
an
original
actual or an
IP,
OS thing
Yeah.
since Banjo-Kazooie. Like,
Fuck.
This is
yeah.
Banjo free.
Jesus.
Or no, sorry, nuts and bolts.
yeah.
Can you just quickly state your case on why you like that game?
Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts is amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he
yeah.
likes the game!
I
I'm
love
moving
that
to this
game.
side of the room now.
And the shot is broken.
How dare you? Don't go back.
We must maintain balance. We only have so many cameras.
Name 10 games better than Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts.
I dare you. What? Why?
Are we talking about this? Are
I
we going to
mean,
go into Banjo
You know what?
Kazooie?
Fuck it. Another day. Another day. We'll stick to the
Fun,
list.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Bad Piggies is also fun.
They call me the
by
derailer.
extension.
Well, it takes
Isn't that a gun in TF2?
No.
No.
How much
No,
is
no.
Sea of Thieves?
Just
Hold
everything
on.
is TF2.
We can't keep coming
Eddie-
back to this. I know it's our thing, but no, there's a limit.
How much do you think Sea of Thieves is going to cost?
$30.
Yeah, $30.
60.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Oh.
It is.
That I think that just changed my mind. I was planning on getting it, but I just rolled it, and that seems like a lot.
That's one of those games that needs to be priced like a Steam game, like $20. Like that's a PUBG level game.
Yeah.
of price.
See,
Like people hate
yeah.
microtransactions, but that's how a game like that lives now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's gonna survive. I mean,
See,
I don't, this
but
game
like-
could even be free to play, I think.
It could
then
be.
have all those aesthetic.
But here's see
microtransactions.
the problem is that it's Microsoft exclusive, and when you have such a big publisher behind it, they're gonna make you like
That's true.
charge $60 for it. Like
Not
it's not.
necessarily.
Rare's not an indie studio. They're established. If they were an indie studio like Studio MDHR for Cuphead, then they would be more lenient because Cuphead's like what 20 or $30.
But this,
Yeah,
this is one of those things where it's like, sure, from a business perspective, I get it, but like from just being like a decent human being, like that's
You're
what they
but
gave
see
me.
again.
Corporations are people.
You're get the fuck out. You're assuming
Revolución.
you're assuming
Yeah.
that AAA publishers are, care about the consumer. EA,
Yeah, it's
you
just,
think they care, but they don't. They only care about the bottom line.
you're right, but I just feel like. Also, I know that the game runs on microtransactions, but I feel like microtransactions would kill the whole looting aspect of the fucking game.
Yeah.
The
No, I
reason
agree.
that you're
It can
a
be
pirate
done.
for
Anything
loot.
can be done.
But
Like,
you're a pirate for loot. That's what you do. Your one motivation as a pirate is to get that booty. Like,
what if you
that's
pay
your job.
$2?
I think
3 enemy pirate ships come over the horizon, and you can kill one of them, and one of them has a new hat. The loot boxes are the bad guys.
I mean, they could go down the keys route of like you get you find crates and you find different rarities of crates.
You
but
find
you need to
loot
pay
crates?
for keys,
yeah, but that
yeah.
or just maybe make keys keys are like a currency, but you don't really have enough to open everything. So either you save them for super rare crates, or you need to buy them.
Yeah.
But then, or they could, because does Overwatch do this? There's specific keys for specific crates.
No.
In
I don't know.
so
Overwatch does not do that.
That's like
Team Fortress
Killing
League.
Floor 2 does that.
yeah, and also
Yeah.
PUBG. I mean, PUBG has a good. They said they do no microtransactions, which is shitty. But PUBG said that they would have. What they do now is they have some crates which are key based and some crates that you can just open. Borderlands does the same thing. They have,
CS:GO does the same thing too.
Have you seen the Borderlands has a really good system? I actually like that. Where you can pay for keys if you want to get these crazy mental weapons.
Which
I mean,
Borderlands?
2. Sorry, I'm behind. But
Going
if you go to the city
want to
center,
buy it.
if you're in the city center, you can buy or if you pre-order it, you get these special keys, and there's just this crate that you can hit. If you have enough keys, you can just hit it as many times as you want. And if you want the craziest fucking weapons in the whole world, you can just go to this crate and get them. But you can also just play the game, and it has nothing to do with the game, and you never need to go to that crate.
I've
It's
never used it.
I've used it twice, and it's fun. It's cool the weapons you get out of it, but and also you can just get unlucky, and they can be garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's that system for Sea of Thieves, maybe, but they
I
could
hope Sea of
kill
Thieves
it.
is good.
I want
I
it
hope
to
so
be
too.
good.
I would like that game to be good.
I don't know if I'm gonna get it after seeing that
No,
$60
definitely not.
price.
Yeah, that
I'm gonna
again in a year sounds good.
Yeah, maybe on a sale.
Nice sale, yeah. Get
It
summer
needs to
sale.
develop a community. That's what
I guess
it
I'll
needs
only
to
get
do.
a Windows Store.
and I hope it's on Steam. It has
No,
to
no,
be.
no. What? No.
Why?
Microsoft is publishing it, dude.
Yeah, but so is
Can you
Cuphead.
buy Halo? Can you buy Halo on Steam?
I
I don't think so. No.
No, it's on the Windows Store. Yeah.
You got a laptop.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Windows Store exclusive. It's Xbox One Windows Store. That's fine. I don't care that much.
Okay.
Next game. 3 days after Sea of Thieves, A Way Out.
Oh boy.
A Way Out. Does anyone remember A Way Out?
I'm not
Yeah.
excited for this game.
Yeah, I remember your opinion, and you and I disagree heavily.
Look, here's my case. You cannot maintain immersion in couch play. Couch play is for fun arcade games or for skill-based games. You cannot tell a story in couch play.
Yeah, you can. Why not?
I've never played a game.
You can tell a
where
different
person-
kind of story. That
I've
doesn't
never-
make it. Yeah.
but I've never played a game with a person next to me where we haven't like fucked around and like completely broken a sincere feeling.
That's video games, yeah. Like,
but like this game is trying to be super sincere and kind of telltale in its storytelling, and I don't think that works. I think that if you're doing a story, then the gameplay has to be fun, and I think this is the kind of thing that is gonna. The Way Out looks like a game like The Walking Dead, or any Telltale game. The gameplay isn't what sells it; it's the story, and you're there for the story, and that's fine. But that story isn't worthwhile in couch play.
I feel like we haven't seen enough of gameplay to actually really know that, because you see some bits from the trailer where they're moving around in an open space and are like targeting people, and it looks like a cross between Walking Dead and Uncharted.
Walking Dead.
Walking Dead. Yeah. Walking Dead.
I mean, if it
I don't know. I
is
don't think
Uncharted,
co-op. Yeah, I don't think co-op limits the story in any way. Like, have you ever watched a movie with another person and made fun of it while you play it? Like, that's a valid experience. That's still a valid story.
If it is Uncharted, but like in prison, I'm for it. I'm for that.
Yeah.
Like, if they get good gameplay going that feels good, and it's not just like a story game.
Yeah, I think if it was dialogue towards, it'd be weird.
I feel
Like, at some point, it would be me and you agreeing on everything. Just
Yeah.
like making compromises.
I feel like the developers are aware of that. I'm pretty sure they're going to put a heavy focus on gameplay, because that's pretty much
probably.
that's every couch co-op game.
Okay. Yeah.
Ever. Like, you need to have good gameplay.
I feel like it's going to be very linear gameplay, actually. And so it's just going to be like two different screens. One person, you have your one objective, the other person has their objective, and it's like a scripted sequence of each.
Correct.
Through that.
But Uncharted kind of does that, and their co-op is super fun.
I could be completely wrong, but I feel like I remember seeing an interview of one of the devs talking about the game and how every player has an option to do one thing, but however they want to do it. Like, they're not limited to doing one thing. They can do pretty much whatever.
That would be
As long as it satisfies that objective.
That would be great if that's what they do. But then you also run the risks then of making it too games that are too open can sometimes be boring. And
I think that game will probably be fun if you're playing with fun people.
Yeah, it really depends on the people.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't think you can have a serious story with a couch play, right? But in my experiences, me and my friends, we screw around in co-op games all the time, but then when it comes down to like the cutscenes or the important parts of gameplay, we're all dead silent. And then we really pay attention to the story there.
And people don't. It's not always the game making a decision. It's like the two characters making a decision together, and me and you on the couch being, what do we want to do? I feel like that game could be really great in moments where the two characters are separate and they pose a moral question to one of the characters in a way that is subtle, like on screen, so that the other player doesn't notice, and give the players the chance to like make their own decisions and potentially fuck over the other person in a way that could be really cool. Like,
that would be
it's like, what if one player is like defending like every horde mode ever? It's like you have to shoot the guys so they don't get through the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other player has a really small prompt in the bottom right that's like, you want to save or kill the other guy. And the player on the left, like, you could just keep that secret.
Cool.
You could just make that decision for yourself, and that's cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Because they'd be distracted with the gameplay on
Yeah,
their side.
like,
So then they
there's
can be
a
like,
lot of things you can play with.
So the person on your side is like, oh, don't do this option.
Yeah.
Just make it so that the other person doesn't really.
Yeah.
You could do that by just basically giving each character their own either having giving each character their own motivation and having them clash. Like, you know what I mean? Being like, this guy needs to get home to his family. This guy, wants to, I don't know, make as much money as he can before he's out or something like that.
I think that is what their motivations are.
I
I think that is what their motivations are.
Because then, you could, but then the one thing about that is you actually need to make those choices fucking matter. Because I'm so sick of those games where it's like, oh, they're all happy in the end anyway. No, if you make it if you choose to dick over the other guy, his character is like, wow, I'll never see my family again now, and I'm stuck with you. That's cool, and but then you face the challenges of you have to get your players invested, and you have to make those choices matter, and that is a hard thing. So A Way Out, I don't have big hopes, but that game could blow me out of the water if they manage it.
If it's good, it'll be good on its moments.
Yeah.
It'll be the thing at the end of the year. It's like, remember that thing?
Yeah,
that's the potential.
I mean, like The Last of Us, like I was kind of excited for it, but then that game came out and I was blown away. And that I think A Way Out could be similar in the way that it's like, wow, this story is gripping. Like if that is going to be sold on its writers and how gripping
And their
the
lead
gameplay
designer,
is.
lest we forget.
Yeah.
Fuck the Oscars.
VGAs, man.
That was beautiful.
That was so
funny.
good.
That made me
I
so happy.
am surprised he still has a job after
What's
that.
the guy that runs the VGAs?
Jeff Keighley?
Poor Keighley. He
Yeah,
works so
he's
hard.
trying
hard.
He's trying so hard to main decorum. I
He got
guess.
so sad.
Yeah,
He gives it his best shot.
he does.
It's like,
Credit where credit's due.
I feel like when Who
thinks they're gonna
Wiseau
get
went for
way
the mic,
What?
and was it James Franco? Like when Tommy Wiseau on the like Academy Awards like goes for the mic, and like James Franco was like, "Whoa!"
Oh yeah.
And like I feel like what happened in the VGAs is what would have happened if Tommy Wiseau got to the mic. That is
Oh
the
my God.
alternative universe of like if someone mic'd up Tommy Wiseau.
I want to know what
having-
he was gonna say.
Having
though.
gone to the room
God.
screenings, I've gone, yeah. The last time I went, Tommy Wiseau tried to sell us all his new brand of underwear. So
That's amazing.
I would
Yeah,
buy
cheap.
so much
I
underwear.
would buy
it was like bright red and just had like font right across the front. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Hot.
Nice.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that on my ladies tonight. I'm gonna whip it out, come out of nowhere with it.
Okay, I don't know.
Have you heard of Tommy Wiseau? I mean, like when people like their move on the first date is to watch the room.
It's to watch
It's
the
like,
room, yeah. Yes, of
Imagine
course.
if you have like
That's a thing
breakaway
people do.
pants and Tommy Wiseau underwear, and if they like the room, you're like,
It starts with like 20 minutes of sex scenes. That's like a really harsh intro. Who thinks they're gonna get away out?
I'll consider it. I mean, I'm considering it already. Like, I need a good couch co-op game. Like, Cuphead was a saving grace in that aspect.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna get it, to be
I
honest.
think it depends on price point.
Yeah,
again.
how much?
Yeah,
that's
gonna be a $60
This
game.
is shitty,
No,
but like I'm
I
literally gonna do this
doubt-
for every single
I
game.
really
It's
hope.
gonna be reasonably priced. Get out of here.
Come on. I'm betting it's gonna be 60.
$30.
Oh!
Wow.
Eat it!
Okay.
Wow.
$30 is interesting.
The taste of dick is strong. Ouch.
Okay.
Well, for
I'll
once,
consider
an
that.
EA
Yeah.
game is not exorbitantly priced.
That's amazing.
To be fair, Hazelight is an indie studio, though.
Well, EA's been doing this like with what was Yarny? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Fuck, what's it
it's
called?
their
Unravel.
weird like it's
Unravel.
like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like hey
Listen.
we have small friends.
Listen, credit where credit is due. EA treats their indie studios well.
Do they?
They
I don't
do.
know.
They
That's
do,
what-
pretty,
that's
they
what
do
the
a
guy
pretty
said.
good.
I mean,
They
it's
do
like
a pretty
the
good
VGAs.
job.
I think they just
They're
needed
like-
to push out their portfolio. Be like, look,
Look.
I mean, yes,
like Sackboy,
but they
but
don't. They're like, they do it well. Like they make.
I just think
They
they,
have
just
good
don't get
games under their
involved,
umbrella.
and that's why.
What?
I just think they don't get involved too much in the indie studios.
whatever happened to Ubisoft?
That's not a bad thing. At
That was
all.
Ubisoft.
That was
Ubisoft. Yeah.
I mean, like, there are, like, indie games, like, looked after by, like, those bigger
Yeah.
companies. Those can actually do really well. But, like,
EA's is a
that's-
lot newer though.
$30 is, like, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna wait for reviews. I'm not pre-ordering that game.
Yeah,
But
don't
I'm intrigued.
Rule of thumb: never pre-order a game ever.
Never.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Just
want to
saying that's
encourage
a
that,
little
but also, like, sometimes, like, come on, it's so good. Like, the free stuff. Like, I want it. Come on.
The more people pre-order, the more times that they're gonna have them as pre-order bonuses instead of actually putting it in the game.
I understand that, but sometimes I want that pre-order bonus. Like, I can play as Deathstroke? Yeah.
This
Like,
is
give
a
me-
vicious and never-ending cycle.
Yeah, I'm the worst.
You're enabling this shit.
I am the scum of game. I'm
You
like,
are.
you know, like in the
So-
mining strikes when they had scabs. I'm
Yeah.
the scab.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
Next game on our list, probably the first big hitter of the year, I guess. Far Cry 5, March 27th.
I'm so
Oh
hyped.
god,
Really excited.
I am excited, but I don't want to get overexcited because it's a Ubisoft game.
What?
Okay, but
What do you just like hate every AAA publisher?
I mean, yeah.
Fuck the Oscars, fuck EA, fuck Ubisoft.
Nether's things. Fuck the man. Yay sunglasses. Dude, okay, I think my argument with Far Cry, and I made this 1,000 times, Far Cry, just like Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, those games existed in a vacuum. If there wasn't that, like, giant pile of Ubisoft crap, those games would be fucking... Like, people would love them. People would love them.
I
And
100% agree with you.
Far Cry is one of those games where it's like, what you want to do as a player matches up with your character. Because you're basically leading like this underground revolution every time against this force. And it makes sense when you see red people and you're like, there's a small enough group of them that I could kill them. It makes sense that you would take them out, like guerrilla warfare. Like, it's part of your character. And like, those games have that swashbuckling, like, coming on a zip line, like, shotgun undercover, like, fucking elephants everywhere. Like, it's so sick. And now it's in a setting that's kind of like, weirdly edgy.
Speaking of shooting red people,
Yeah.
Far Cry.
Oh,
They've had such a turnaround from 3 to 5. Like,
Yeah.
like 3 being... His name was literally Brody, right?
Yeah,
It
Jason
was
Brody, I think.
Jason Brody. He goes to the Pacific Islands and learns how to have a sleeve tats and kill not white people for hours.
But like,
and be like, I've saved you all. To 4 being 4, you're from the country, right? Yeah. So 4 is a little bit better, and they acknowledge that in the press for that game. They were like, no more Brody, and now 5. At first, I thought they were going all the way, and it's like, well, now you get to kill Americans. Awesome. But then they released later trailers that aren't as serious, where it's like, look at these flamethrowers and you can throw dogs at people. And
what?
I don't know.
oh no.
It's Far Cry. It, like
They wanted to
the
make
first
it more
trailer,
fun, though.
the first trailer was really serious, and then every trailer after that has been
It's because there was some
flamethrowers.
pushback.
Don't
Well, I mean, that was
don't-
probably already in the game.
I'm curious how much is marketing and how much is in the game.
I'm
Like
pretty sure
what the
it's already in
balance
the game.
is. Like between like trying to have an actively political message and how much is just trying to have a good time. How much is it 50-50? Like, because the trailers tell different messages about it.
Don't go Mimi. That's my worry. Don't go like Mimi,
What do you mean?
like Just Cause or like kind of like you know
Far Cry's already
Dying
kind of
like
that
Dying
way,
Light.
right?
Dying
is.
Light was cool because Dying Light really didn't go to Mimi, where like a lot of zombie games do. Like Dead Rising. I mean, Dead Rising is different because that's the basis. But like, I don't want Far Cry to go down the Dead Rising route of like now you have like a chainsaw strapped, like a chainsaw pole that you're wielding. Like, no, like keep that game within like it's light fun, but in a slightly gritty tone.
I think that's what they're doing, because I remember they had the Big Rig. I forgot what it was called, but that was probably the meaniest thing that they did. But it's also like kind of just as gritty. It's like America, but it's not stupid.
Yeah, that game is gonna be like it might stir up some people because like
It already did. I mean, people are already pissed
Which
off.
people
at it.
were stirred up though?
The Christians.
Yeah.
plus up.
Damn the
What's up, Freelo?
But dude, like that game is. Far Cry 4 was so great. Like a lot of people didn't love that game.
Yeah,
I thought
it was
that
okay.
game, like
I didn't love
the
it.
twist, the villain in that game, I really liked, and the twist was so cool.
Don't say anything.
You know,
Hold on, I haven't finished it.
You haven't finished it? Okay, can I tell you something? This is
Someone that played the game, can you give me like context of the twist? Is it someone's like parentage or something?
It's
I can't
basically,
remember.
I won't spoil it for you, but basically, there's a moment at the start where he's got you kidnapped, right? But he's brought, like, the king of this land has kidnapped you, but he's taken you, because he
Oh,
wants
is it the thing about like your mom or whatever?
yeah,
okay,
there's a
yeah.
whole story with your mom, but basically he takes you to this dinner where you're kind of kept captive there, and like it's terrifying.
Isn't that at the beginning of the game? Yeah.
So he's like, yo, I gotta go sort this. Wait here, and I'll be back. And obviously, don't wait. Like these kind of revolution guys come and they save you, and you run off. But if you just wait, like he asks you for 10 minutes, the game you get straight to the ending of the game. Because weirdly, the villain of this game isn't a villain. Like I don't want to spoil it for you. But
he's a villain.
He's not.
He's a
Like,
human rights violator.
It's one of those things where, like,
badly.
if you actually think into it, like, sure, he's a terrible person, but his motives kind of make sense.
He's still a dictator.
But they kind of make sense because what's the alternative? Because when
that was the interesting part about that game's side stories was like the revolution stuff. Did you play through that stuff?
I mean, the revolution that you're running isn't as noble as like
yeah,
most
it was really
games.
interesting at the end where basically minor spoiler. Moderate spoilers.
It's not huge. It's like
after you beat the game and you depose the dictator and everything, probably my favorite part of Far Cry 4, a game that I was pretty like lukewarm on in general, was that you have to, in a very video gamey fashion, pick a side. It's like there's two people that led the Rebel Revolution. Which one do you want to be the president? And whichever one you pick, they give you a bonus. You have to go kill the other one, and obviously, I think you get to decide whether you kill them or not. But
you can let him go, or you could kill him.
They were trying to make it
cool.
like
I like that.
I don't know if it's like a super interesting statement on revolutions because that does happen a lot. But for video games, you don't see that often. You don't see video games confront what happens after you get the bad guy.
It would have been.
That's true.
It would have been great. Like I mean, what would have if they went down the Spec Ops: The Line route with Far Cry 4 and they actually made
That was a
like
good fucking game.
if they were like yo. And they instead of kind of being like, hey, maybe it didn't work out as well as you thought. If they were like, yo, fucking face the gritty reality of your decisions, that game would have been like amazing. Like people would have adored
But that's
that game.
the thing about Far Cry 5 is
Yeah,
how much do they want to make the game make you feel bad?
I really doubt they will, but
No,
if they did,
like that game's pulpy. Like you've seen the
Yeah.
description of the NPCs. It's like Reverend Davis. He's got a double barrel shotgun and thirst for revenge. So like those
The
characters can be
Reverend is the
summarized.
coolest character.
Those characters can be summarized in 2 sentences, and that's not a bad thing because they might be characterized well, but they're purposely kind of one-sided. I think, at least in the advertising,
that's fair.
because it's a fun game. Far Cry's a fun game. They try and fit in the politics. In the end,
Yeah, in the
it's
end.
like by
It's
the
like
way,
kinda tacked on.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like here's the theme, but
But it is fun. That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fun.
So they're gonna make it pretty crazy.
I just hope they
I don't think it's gonna be super gritty and serious
no,
throughout most of the
definitely
game.
not.
Most
No.
of the game.
You're gonna burn weed farms.
Yeah, exactly.
that level with the
that
weed
Skrillex?
farm with the
Far Cry
reggae dubstep comes in and you got the flamethrower and it's like everyone's high because you're burning weed.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the coolest level in any Far Cry game. Where like you just burst it and you're just like your entire arsenal is composed of fire. That's all the game gives you. It just gives you the power to wield fire and then like reggae dubstep comes in and you're like, excuse me.
Did you ever play Far Cry 2?
No, I never
The
did.
fire effects in that game are great. I just play Far Cry for the fire. They like toned it down. I think the developers back then were talking about how they didn't want the jungle to burn down the entire island, but kind of want to see the island burn down.
I think there's gonna be a lot of fire in Far Cry 5.
I hope so.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
I think it could be cool.
dog fights.
Whoa.
Like
Far
actual
Cry-
dogs.
Actual,
Yeah,
no,
actual-
no, airplane
No,
dog.
actual dogs.
Actual dogs.
No, you joke,
play as
but,
the
like,
dog.
That could definitely be in Far Cry.
Dude,
Don't
they
you get a buddy in Far Cry 5?
You do.
Yeah,
Take
yeah,
a ride.
yeah.
Dude, you get to in one of the levels, you get to play you get to use his plane. And you get to
use this thing you say.
use his thing. You get to use his plane and then do bombing runs over
But how much?
It's
how
so
much,
cool.
How much of that is going to be like a level?
Scripted, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Well, variety. I want variety from Far Cry 5. I want there to be the mission where it's like, oh, you left the world map to go to some other state for 30 minutes.
Mhm.
I want to fly the planes and pet the dogs.
I mean, the reason
I want to
that-
fish.
I want to fish, yeah.
I want to fucking
yeah.
fish,
Yeah,
dude.
I want a goddamn
fucking
fishing
fish.
game.
Video games, the most fun ever.
The reason I love Far Cry is
It's an
because
anime
all
game.
of
It should
the-
have fishing.
Of course it is.
all of the mini games were just explore the tools we've given you. All the side quests. This is a side quest. Go. It wasn't just go and clear out this camp. It was go and burn this building to the ground. Go and assassinate this guy using this particular weapon. Go and wipe out this moving patrol. And they were all.
Moving targets are great.
It was just great how it was even sure it wasn't crazy diverse. It wasn't this wow, everyone's completely different. But they all just facilitated fun. It wasn't hey, sit in the car with this guy and collect these things. It was no, go fucking get to this building however you can, use whatever you want, and burn it to the ground. That was fun.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
It's like Just Cause a lot. Those two games like are in the same area of my mind.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Like,
yeah.
It's just a bit more grounded, Far Cry.
So for the previous games we were on, so whether you're going to get it, I'm going to change the question a bit. How likely does this game have a wingsuit?
Almost definitely on the plane level.
I
you're
hope
gonna
it.
jump out. It's
I
gonna catch
hope.
on fire, and you're gonna have to jump out.
Oh
and fly
my
down.
lord! I
Yes.
hope.
The Far Cry wingsuit was so great because it was just a way of like, fuck.
There was a thing, I still have a video on my PS4 of like using the wingsuit just on like a slight decline. Like the road just goes down 10 degrees and you just jump and fly. It's amazing.
I mean, the controls are kind of shit. Like, how many times did you flog yourself off something? It's
Great.
like, no!
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
plummet to your death. But
It's fun.
I hope they. The big thing for me is I hope they have verticality. I hope it's not just like farmland because I mean Dying Light did that, but they fixed that by being like have a car, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But if they do this, there's already cars in the game, so you can't fix a flat world by being like have cars now.
Yeah.
Like no, I want mountains. I want diverse terrain, and I hope that I hear that's the kind of.
I think I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
like a
they're trying to
fictional
do.
state, or it
It's
might be
fictional
real, but it's like a fictional state.
Yeah, Montana doesn't exist, guys. Let's just knock that out.
To all you Montanans out there, I'm sorry.
You're not real.
You're fake.
We should move on. before this
God of War.
gets-
God of War. Can anyone guess the date that God of War is coming out this year? It's
That's
the
a
Weed
hint.
Day.
Oh, is it really?
Weed
Yeah.
Day.
That's why I did this.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, you're so cool. with your
Nintendo
sunglasses your
Labo
weed.
and God of War are coming out on the same day. I'm curious to see if there's any competition between those two
Oh, yeah.
audiences.
Wait, what was
for
wait, hold on, what was the other one?
Labo is also on
Yeah,
420.
it
Oh,
is.
oh right.
It's literally, I think it's $69 on 420. Like,
But they're both exclusive, so
it's not even a joke. Like, I think that's literally just what they did.
Props to the marketing team. Jesus.
Reggie was just like,
Yeah.
damn, fucking we're done. Just more memes now.
I imagine every time Reggie walks to the office, he does the dab, but he has like paperwork, so he like throws it off. He like goes. They're like, Reggie, we can't do this. He's like, did I stutter?
Dab on the
He
haters.
just becomes the Saxton Hale of like
Yeah.
Nintendo.
There you go. Reggie is the Saxton Hale of the real world.
He turns around and his face starts turning green if you say no.
Oh lord. Okay, God of War. I'm not that invested.
Dad of War, yeah, I'm not
Dad
a
of
huge
War.
God of War person.
I like God of War. I think it's gonna be.
Anyone play the old God of War
I think
games?
it's gonna be.
I played them a little bit, but this one's like completely different. It's a reimagining of the series. That's why it's not God of War 4. It's just
Yeah.
God of War. It looks like they're trying to do Last of Us.
They're naming it like stupidly. Great.
What do you mean?
I love that. That makes my life easier.
Wait,
it's a
I
remake.
hate it when they
Yeah,
The God of
give it a
War.
subtitle.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
give it
that's
something like
Yeah, it's
oh my
okay.
god. Like,
But I mean, it does signify a reboot. So
it's
Yeah.
but like Doom did it. It made me so angry. I hate people like Doom punish.
Doom.
yeah, no, Need for Speed did that.
No,
It pissed me
original
off.
Doom is uppercase D, lowercase OOM. 2016 Doom is Doom.
Yeah, all caps.
Doom. Sorry, going about. I'm going for them. I cut you off to nitpick my
Anyway,
names.
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, video games. God of War.
Video games, guys. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, God of War. Last of Us actually does seem kind of relevant. I don't know, like the third person camera being so close to the shoulder
Yeah.
and having that kid be your constant follower,
Yeah.
a lot like Ellie.
Yeah.
Maybe Bioshocky, or is it a different
And-
route?
No.
No.
I feel
And
like it's gonna
wide
be
open
less-
levels too, like the Halo statement of like wide linear. It seems to be a lot of those things.
Yeah. And they're really going for that father-son mechanic in this
Yeah.
game, and it's going to be about their relationship with one another. And I don't know if they're going to be able to execute it as well as like The Last of Us was able to do with Joel and
See, I
Ellie.
think the difference between God of War and The Last of Us is that The Last of Us was more focused on those two characters. I think God of War as a franchise is more focused on the gameplay.
It's more
So I
focused
feel-
on murdering giant gods.
Yeah, exactly. There
And
you
God of
go.
War is a little bit like Far Cry 5, where they're both games where I'm curious about how serious and how fun are they going to be.
Yeah,
for
Like,
sure.
are there going to be the stupid big boss fights where he just yells for 10 minutes? It's like Serious Sam where it's like, car just like swinging in? Or is his son gonna be sad?
I think this one's gonna be.
Is his son gonna be sad?
Those are the only yelling for
There
2
is
minutes.
no
Oh,
middle ground.
fuck, my son is sad.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious.
I think they're gonna go for a much more serious tone.
You think they're
this
gonna
time.
try and lean into
Yeah,
that?
I still think they're gonna have like epic big boss
yes,
fights
it's got
and
war.
stuff.
It's got war.
But I think those are gonna lead to a lot more emotions for the characters.
Yeah.
I was never invested in the God of War boss fights because I mean I love like Monster Hunter boss fights where it's like attack this how you will.
Kratos actually kills a Rathalos as the first boss. Pretty cool.
But like, are they gonna go down the route where it's like this?
Yeah, have you seen the level with the
or is
great
it
jets?
just
Like,
attack and script playing?
Yeah.
Scripted
So
events.
scripted. Oh, you climb this part of the body and stab it a bunch of times with quick time events and stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm like probably in the minority that like scripted events.
Yeah, I think they can be cool.
Not a lot, but
Yeah,
like
not a
when
ton.
they're done well, they're good. Like
Yeah.
the original God of War games
So
did
that's
them
great.
well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
Shadow
those
of
are
the Colossus
fantastic.
was ironically kind of not ironically was quite linear in how you would attack it, but like that game was incredible. The Shadow of the
QTE
Colossus
choices
incredible.
would be interesting if it popped up like a triangle on the left
That
and
would,
an O
yeah.
on the right, and it's like, which animation do you want to see? You want to see him
Oh,
rip his
yeah,
eyes
yeah.
out or tear his arm off?
I don't care. Like for me, I want God of War to become Monster Hunter, but with gods. That's what I want.
No,
and
that's
I know that's and no one else wants that. But that's what I want.
Yeah, you'd be right. No one else wants
Yeah,
that.
no one wants
I
it.
just want a god. I want to fight a god where the god has abilities and I have abilities,
Smite.
and it's just facing off. I don't want it to be like,
I know.
oh, now it's just like.
Stop.
Like, you know the bosses in like Star Wars Unleashed, like the Star Wars
Unleashed?
Force Unleashed. That
Yeah.
one. I didn't like those boss fights were sometimes fun, but sometimes it was like, oh, knock over the pillar on top of him. And,
Yeah.
like, and I just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
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 I'm like more excited for God of War existing than me playing it.
That's
I'm just
true,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, they
I'm
got to
glad
let
it's
these
not
people
dead.
make
Yeah.
like what they seem to want to make, as opposed to God of War Ascension. But also, I don't care.
Fair enough. I
Next
mean,
game-
I'll probably get it. Like
Next game on the list is the biggest
Later.
game.
we'll
Yeah.
just price guess it's gonna be $60.
Yeah, it's gonna be
right?
60.
it's
Oh, yeah,
definitely
yeah.
gonna be 60
I think
bucks.
this is one I'm gonna get though. Because
I'm
I feel like the gameplay's gonna be
I'm definitely not
my
gonna get it at
style, so-
launch, but I'll get
Okay.
it when the price reduces.
Unless
Because I like God of War, but this is like a very different style of gameplay
It is.
than what it normally is.
It's
So I want
my
to see
style,
like
so-
I want to see how it is before I invest in it.
unless they like reinvent.
How do you how y'all feel about
It is.
horses?
I like horses.
You like
I know what you're
horses?
gonna talk
You like
about.
horse balls?
I like horse balls.
You want animated horse balls?
Yes, I want horse balls in my face.
Oh,
right
they
now.
didn't see the Red Dead trailer.
No,
Did you
dude.
see the Red Dead 2 trailer?
Yeah,
Like
I
the
did.
original announced trailer,
Yeah.
they have like CGI animated, like some poor animator had to sit in front of a desk for a couple days. It's just like a close up of horse balls.
I don't remember that
It's
shot.
like it's literally like a jiggle physics.
That's amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
This is what we need.
Jiggle physics
Equality.
and
There's like an authenticity to it.
Jiggle physics
went
in
for it.
places where you don't expect them. That's
Mario's
brilliant.
nose. Yeah.
No, Red Dead 2 is I'm so
Yeah.
up for.
Doesn't currently have a release date.
No, it does.
It's-
It was October 26th, I think.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, fall.
They
down.
did it. They announced that like a couple days ago because it got
Oh.
delayed again.
Oh.
So
I'm just so hyped for it. It's gonna be
see,
so
it's gonna be
here's
incredible.
my problem, right?
Uh-oh.
I'm excited. I'm very excited for Red Dead 2. I know it's going to be a fantastic game because Rockstar quality is always brilliant.
When has Rockstar let us down? When have they done
GTA
that?
Online.
GTA Online, I think was great.
No, well,
It's
see,
great,
no,
but it's not because of GTA Online. Like GTA Online's great, even though they put like next to no effort at launch. Like
Yeah.
that game got good because they realized it made shit tons of money.
But see, like my problem with, and I understand that GTA is made by Rockstar North and Red Dead Redemption is made by Rockstar San Diego, and they're totally different studios. But my problem is, not a problem, but it's a worry that I have, is that they're gonna put less of a focus on the single player and more of a focus
oh,
on
they
online.
super are.
yeah, no, well, that's it.
Yeah,
like, they're
I'm
gonna put
scared
more of
for
a
that as
focus
well.
on the online, and they're gonna do what they did with GTA Online and make that like grind, like heavy grinding.
I think
and
I'd
make
be
that another
okay
cash
with
cow.
that, but that's mostly because I'm in the minority of not really being a huge fan of the story of Red Dead Redemption. I play.
I mean, that's
I
fair.
think
Yeah.
even Red Dead is just one of those games. Like, you don't even have to like the story, just the vibe.
Yeah,
As much
and
as
I got that vibe
As
from
much as I hate the
multiplayer.
word vibe, like
It's got
the same
vibes.
with GTA.
Yeah, the game's
like,
got
even
vibes.
if you're not, I love the story of GTA. and I'm currently working
Which
because I
one?
recently bought it, GTA 5.
All GTA.
I'm currently working.
I mean,
through the
they're all
story,
good.
Like I know it well enough, but Red Dead, like I wasn't super invested in the characters,
Yeah,
even though they're great.
same.
Yeah.
But I just love being a fucking cowboy.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
What if I were to tell you you could drop 100 cowboys out of an airplane into the desert? Yeah, no, there's a leak like a week ago.
Really?
Yeah, apparently they're part of the reason. I suspect a lot of the reason for that game's delay
right? Yeah.
was just because those games take a while, and obviously they're never going to hit deadline.
add a
But also,
battle royale mode
yes,
for that.
people were
Yeah.
data mining stuff or leaking stuff, and it sounds like people might be dropping cowboys out of airplanes with a blue circle.
No, they're gonna be dropping.
Whoa.
They're gonna be riding flying horses.
Okay.
a giant one single giant horse galloping across the sky and just a mountain of John Marston's falling off the back.
Okay, but like, hold on. This sounds dumb, but holy fuck, what if they did it right?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I love
you're worried about
PUBG.
you're worried about there not being enough single player in that game, and yes, but also like
Well, I mean, but you understand why, though,
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
because like Red Dead, like they're so fucking good at single player games,
They are.
and I'm just worried that because of GTA Online's success,
they're
they're gonna not do it as well as they did before.
Well, what if they put more of the story into the online mode, and so then you can go through the story with other people?
Have
That
people
would be
really had
cool.
success with that?
I don't know if people really
Because like the main thing I
GTA
think of is
Online
like
story.
Titanfall 1, which had the weird like online story.
No one
Yeah,
liked
that
that.
was
no one
weird.
That was horrible.
Like how would you even do
that's
that?
not. That doesn't. I barely even count.
In my
Yeah, you're
my
right.
opinion,
Whereas, like-
story's done really well when it's either like fully co-op or single player.
Let me propose something to you. What if they did heists, but they turned heists into an entire campaign?
Yeah,
for
that's
Red
what I
Dead?
was thinking.
That's a good
More
idea.
Like a fucking cow.
That's a good idea.
I think actually
How
that's
sick would
that's
that
how
be?
you. I think that's the main character that you play as in the single player. You play as this one guy, and he has a band of robbers with him.
Well, but like, what? But, you know, GTA. As much as like you can say you didn't like GTA 5, or like the online, the heists that was a story-driven
Yeah.
multiplayer game that is so fun. And
Also-
they turned that into a full game for
but-
cowboys.
But did people really like the story aspect of the heist?
No,
No,
they,
but it,
well,
maybe not. Okay, maybe not narrative and like characters and dialogue.
Yeah.
But in regards to, whoa, this is happening now.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying with A Way Out, is like the thing I could hope most for that game's story is not good writing, it's good moments. And
Yeah.
like that's what I remember
Yeah.
from past GTA games. Like I don't remember many lines from GTA 5, but I remember the shit where you're sniping people from a helicopter into a skyscraper. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
And
like give me
they
those
do
moments
that.
with characters that are likable enough, and I'm fine.
Could you imagine that though? Like, you know, like it's like, oh, like there's like another gang in a church, and like you're like they're just like clear out the church, and you could do that
Yeah.
as a gang however you want,
Mhm.
and like you just like you're busted, and it's like we got a hole down here, kiddos. Everyone, like, everybody up on the balcony with this like fucking like bolt action like Smith and Wesson, like how sick would that be?
I'm really curious to see what the progression looks like in Red Dead Online. Because
I feel like it would be very
I
similar.
feel like there's less potential to buy things, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like you think about
Yeah.
it's weird.
Here,
but
you
the
can have your
literal changing-
fucking Italian super horse for
Changing
$5 million,
society.
boyo.
from like
microphones.
from 1900 America to 2015 America is like you can buy way more stuff. You can buy guns and there's an attachment for every gun, and your car has like 40 different parts to it.
Your horse
And-
has 40 different
Yeah,
parts.
can it, no, but like that's seriously though. Like, what do you
just
do?
Buy more legs for your
What do you
horse.
do? What do you do
Yeah,
about
what do
that
you
though?
do?
Like that's a legitimately good question. Like, do you just have better horses?
You can do what you can
Carriages or carriages normal? Does everyone have a
You
carriage?
can go down
Or
the
guns.
Skyrim route of having like guns that are like almost mythical and how
Yeah.
cool they are. You know, and you can I love leveling systems in worlds where it's like you can have a feared person. There are feared cowboys. In Australia, we have feared bushrangers, and they're sick. Ned Kelly is sick. He wears like a helmet that's infamous. Like pirates are feared. Like and you know, criminal underworld. You have like people that are feared, and that's the right world to be doing that kind of leveling system where it's like, yo, don't fuck with that guy. he's got like the pistol.
But like, are those
As a-
upgrades just like a
kid.
gun that does more damage, or is it like a
Looks
significantly? Yeah, like
Yeah.
is it just the pistol with a golden skin and it does double damage? Like what is
That's a
that
good
upgrade pattern?
Mhm.
Do you have a house? You could buy houses in GTA 5, and some people dumped a lot of money into that.
That seems
like,
like a good
like-
way.
In like a motel or something.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like there
And
is
own a
so many
casino.
things you can spend money on GTA 5, and they all feel like decently fleshed out.
Yeah.
But wouldn't that be cool, like running like a business and like
Yeah.
it's
That
like,
is oh my god.
Well, they did
that
that.
is
They did that in
something-
online. They
no,
did that
even,
online.
you know, like
they
you
did
can have like bar fights and it's like shit.
It was
Well, I mean, like the
that's
CEO
with the crates.
stuff, and the,
Yeah.
that's
That's so
bullshit.
sick.
That's not a real
It's
thing.
Yeah, a lot of
But,
the
like,
missions
I mean,
weren't super good for a lot of those organization missions in
those were
in
fucking
GTA 5.
stupid. The only
Go
good
pick up this thing.
It's on the
the
right
only
path.
the
I think
only
it's on the
good
right
ones
path.
were
It
the
is,
vehicle warehouse and the gun running stuff, but they're all like, go pick this shit up, hold it in your warehouse, and when you want to sell it, sell it.
Like
This is the
I'm
kind of
like
where-
between
but
the
all we need
CEO
never is-
stuff
Sorry, go.
and like Yakuza real estate could be rad, where it's like there's a bit of like numbers balancing and like assigning characters to different stations.
That would
But
be
like,
so cool.
all we need
Yeah.
is one studio to come along and go, hey, what if we did this like good? Like that's all we need because like GTA clearly made that because they're like we need more missions, not because they were like
expensive.
but it's a good idea. What if someone was like, hey, we're gonna base a game around this kind of weird RNG thing where it's like you're not necessarily progressing to a story, but you're running this business and like these are like the tasks you have to do to keep like your casino afloat. Stop the bar fights, like go and like burn down other casinos, like whatever.
Because that's like a really big game. Like
right there, there's a really
probably-
big team behind it.
You're like talking about
Yeah.
the missions in. I don't know if any of you guys have played GTA San Andreas.
a little bit.
Like towards the end or like of the third third quarter of the game, like you go to basically fictional Las Vegas and you help your friend who owns a casino, and basically most of the mission that you do there is like helping him run the casino.
Yeah.
Like you go like the climax of the entire thing is doing a heist at a rival casino like down the street.
Yeah.
And then before that, it's like stopping bar fights, like scaring one of the kids who's like the son of the guy running the casino. It's if you had something like that in Red Dead, that would be so cool.
It would. It'd
That
be
would be so
great.
cool.
That'd be so
I wish
fun.
they had that in GTA, honestly, because like they have that one big casino like next to the highway, and it's not being used, and it's a damn shame. But
I like how you're referring to it like it's real estate. It's like there's a lot on like street like
That'd be
45th Avenue and they're just not using it. Like that could be a beautiful cafe mission.
Like
would.
in
It
a
would be.
game that's like main progression is ownership. It's like how much shit do I own? Like a land is one of the most valuable things. Like the idea of being able to point to a place on the world map and be like, I own that.
Like you could get like a
Valuable,
ranch.
yeah.
and-
Exactly. Like,
that would be
and that fits
would
into
be
the
great.
Western
That
thing too of being
definitely
like,
would, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can get
Honestly,
bigger
like,
ranches to
Land
have,
Rush,
and you like
have you seen like
you
there's
buy
a
a
film about
ranch.
that?
We're having conversations.
Sorry.
It's okay.
There's no there. Continue with yours. Because mine is like irrelevant.
No, I was just going off of like what he was saying with the ranches. Like you can have different ranches in the world, but also like you can either have different stables within that you can pick within those ranches, or like different stables fixed
Yeah.
with those ranches,
yeah.
and like having a certain amount of horses you can have in those, and like
And have a reason to have multiple horses.
exactly,
Kind
yeah.
of like what Fallout 4 tried to do, but better. In a certain like
Yeah.
you so Fallout 4 like you manage like water, you have like jobs, like you assign people to shit, like you work like
Yeah.
a civilization.
But
Like, you
less,
could, like, run
less
around.
like placing objects in a space and more like selecting options from a menu.
Yeah, I mean that'd be cool. But I mean, for me, like I think that would work because the Texan Land Rush, I think it was in Texas. Like, there's a great film about it that I can't remember the name of. It's like Far and Away or something. But it's about like basically there was so much land in America that they literally were just like, hey, it's a race. First person to get to pick this flag up
Yeah.
gets that hectare. And it was just like, And people cheated, people like would fight, and like that was insane. But also, there's just so much land that they just had a competition one day, and I was like, winners get all this
I
land.
want Red Dead 2 to fulfill my colonial fantasies. I want to push native people off of their land, and then tell them it's not their land.
That would be cool.
You can't steal something if it was never
Someone
yours.
put it like-
Yes, it would.
Just like Texas and
If
Mexico.
they
and it's
approached
like,
it right,
Yeah, well, yeah. If
like,
they did it,
that's a fine line
just-
to walk.
it is. But
Like,
just imagine me
simultaneously
going over to your
reward
ranch
and
like
stealing
5 miles
land.
away from mine
It's
and
weird.
just like occupy like the fuck out. It's my ranch now.
This is our.
This is my town now.
There's like
bitch.
and in between Texas and Mexico, it'd be like, your goal is to push the border
Yeah,
as
there's-
far from their land as possible.
There's
Just
you
hold
joke,
it, fuck it,
but like
we're
if this is a game where you buy land, it's like this is my plot. There's an inherent politics to that. It's right. It's like this is a game about controlling the frontier, becoming the masters of the West.
Random
Like,
events, it's like, fight off the hordes of Mexicans angry that you like settle in their kitchen. Like,
is Red Dead 2 going to be a big hit with Teddy Roosevelt? You know, like,
Oh god.
I don't know if they'll go that far.
Native Americans want their fucking spiritual land back.
well, they honestly might.
There
like,
you go. That's the context for the team deathmatch. Is
Like Rockstar has a history, like South Park, of just bringing up controversial things, even if they don't really have a statement to make about it, just being like, wouldn't it be
It's-
crazy if you killed Native
the
Americans?
entire-
Hold the line, man.
the
I don't know if they're gonna do that.
entire
I bet they
GTA
would.
series is satire. I wouldn't be surprised if they
Yeah.
did.
But
Well, it depends on how they do it.
It's not even satire, it's just mockery.
Yeah,
It's just like let's make fun of it.
satire and
Yeah.
mockery.
Yeah.
But like in GTA, there's no history of oppression there. You're just mowing down white kids. Like who gives a shit? Like they're like, it's not like you know you're kicking black people out of their homes. Like and there's no history behind it, even though it is kind of true. It's to a level of absurdity where it doesn't matter. Whereas like you know like if it was a game about like rolling up to America. And being like, this is our land now, and just killing Native Americans, that's different. That's
But
a
if they
lot
don't
more
do that,
real.
that's also important because then you're making a game in which you're saying that there was no contestation of that expansion,
I mean, that's
which is that like no matter what you do, you will be making a statement on that.
It's
Damned if you
kinda-
do, damned if you don't.
The solution
Yeah.
to that without making it.
Well, they're not
making
damned
a
if they
big-
pay attention to it, if they mention it.
Yeah.
Without making a big splash, but still being like, hey, this is an issue. That's something that you have in a story. That's something you work into story and into dialogue, not into gameplay. I don't think that's a gameplay issue. I think
Well,
if you were-
that's what they've
Okay.
done. Like every time they've done something like that, it's always been in dialogue.
exactly. You can handle that well in dialogue and in cutscenes, but if you bring that into gameplay, you're risking being insensitive and being like, mow down Native Americans. That's okay. Like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. Like,
I think they have the balls. Like
really?
No, I don't think they do.
Rockstar lives in a bubble, man. Like
I would agree with
know.
you if you were talking about Rockstar pre 2013.
yeah, maybe. They have like money to support it now.
So
They have
coming into
people to keep.
different,
Like remember
different
Modern Warfare
times.
2? Like studios have done that shit. Like
Remember, who can forget? No Russian.
No,
Yeah,
Russian.
like,
I mean,
there-
that
there's
set
a
ripples
precedent
that still
of that.
existent today.
Yeah.
Like my mom is still like, look at this scene. Violence is terrible. Video
Yeah.
games. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
no Russian.
I remember.
we've
like,
set a precedent. Like people have already done that shit.
Yeah.
And so it's not a question of whether anyone would, it's whether Rockstar would.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know.
I
just
Was
I
there,
have a
was there any of
feeling-
that in the original Red Dead? Was there any story like involving anyone that wasn't like the core characters?
Not sure.
Not to my knowledge.
really.
I mean, I don't. Like,
To be fair, that game takes place in like 1918 or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it does take place
Let's
afterwards.
speak a little bit about sexism in the West. But
Yeah.
They touch
A
on
little
that.
bit, yeah.
Well, especially like Bonnie's character, because Bonnie's character is like kind of the cool feminist symbol of like she's like a woman who's making it work.
Yeah.
Like, and the world is kind of like, oh, well, let me protect a little lady, but it's like, no, I'm like, this is my ranch. I run this shit. I know how to survive in this world. And like, it's cool that like. As like, without meaning to get too preachy, like as a man, like normally it's like you're the kind of figure of power, and it's cool to like to be the one who you need her help, and you turn to a woman who's like got her shit together, and you're like, please help me get into this world and like teach me the ways, and she does, and that's cool. I don't know. I thought that was a cool kind of. It's little. It's not a big statement, but it's something to just kind of establish, like, hey, women can.
I think that's just another
I feel like the
example
next
of how
step
they
there is it not
incorporate
being
that
a deal.
into the setting and the characters
Yeah.
and the dialogue.
It'd be cool.
instead of the gameplay.
What if you worked with a Native American? What if he was the guy who was like, let me teach you how to shoot?
What's the difference between that and like my best friend is a black guy? Like what is
Yeah.
what is that just the token character?
Yeah.
Like
That's
those are things that
That's-
need
but it's-
that need
that
to be
comes down to
considered.
writing. That comes down to like good writing and actually
Yeah.
giving a shit. It moves it from my token black friend to like this is us representing these people.
Yeah. And having like more than one,
Oh,
like more than
definitely
having
gonna have
like
it.
this is the Indian, like
Yeah.
like
We did it! We had one! We put one in there, are you happy?
They're
now?
like having a party in the conference room after doing that.
well, like numbers are the easiest solution because odds are like if you
Yeah.
have like a shit ton of characters of any demographic, odds are some will be good or bad,
See,
and that covers your ass.
If
Yeah,
they
the
did
diversity
do that,
would be
like,
fabulous.
Rockstar's pretty good with that kind of stuff. though.
Yeah.
Like they're aware. They're acutely aware. Like when they make statements like that, or any kind
They
of
spend their
statement-
time to make things right.
Exactly. Like they spend the time on writing and character development and that sort of stuff.
But if
I
they're
don't.
putting
I
more focus on the online, maybe they won't.
There you. That's another problem. Then.
Who's gonna get Red Dead 2?
I am.
And absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll probably get it before
Yeah.
reviews come out. I'm so excited.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
GTA Online
As
was like
mu-
a big way for me and my brother to hang out,
Yeah.
like in college.
As
It just-
much as I
yeah.
hate saying, yeah, I'll get it. I'll probably
I'm
will.
gonna-
They got us by the balls, man. They're so good.
Just
Those horse balls.
Listen, okay, like full disclaimer, I don't hate GTA Online, okay? I just don't like what it's made Rockstar become.
What's that
Just don't spend
Offspring song?
I have it.
Like low self-esteem. It's just like
I
it's just.
thought you
like,
said Springsteen.
when Rockstar comes over and you're like, I'm gonna fuck you, and it's like, okay. Like, there's not much you can do. You're just like, I guess, okay.
Yeah.
But,
You just have to accept it at that point.
you know, they're just so good at what they do. You're like, take my money. There's not like, okay.
Let me spread my cheeks wide open for you.
That's basically it. We're done.
Spider-Man. We're out of the release dates and into the
boy.
TBAs. Games that do not have release dates, hopefully.
This is, look,
Hopefully,
Spider-Man
hopefully I won't know when
I
they
don't
come
know what
out.
that means. Yeah, anyways. I was saying, yeah.
I hope I don't know when they
Whatever.
come out.
Yeah, I want Spider-Man to drop like Fallout Shelter.
Oh my
like
God.
they just at PSX are like, hey, by the way, check
No,
the
they
PlayStation
do
Store.
exactly like what Nintendo did at the VGAs with
Yeah.
with the Breath of the Wild DLC. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fucking
It's just like,
cool.
guess what? It's out.
Guess what? Spider-Man has a motorcycle now.
and it's under your chair.
yeah. Reach under your chair, everyone gets a free motorcycle.
Yeah, let me say, in one of the animated shows, I think he does have a spider bite.
Yeah, no, I remember. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I think
totally.
it
He had like the
was-
spider car. He had everything, which didn't make sense because like
He's
that
a
came from
teenager.
Batman, I think. Like Batman needs a car sometimes.
I mean,
Yeah.
Spider-Man need a car.
No, his whole
He
point
can-
is mobility.
He can get around faster by swinging on nothing.
I think
Yeah, but
maybe
it's
he only has the car
No, it
if
doesn't.
he needs
No,
to
it
get
doesn't.
to another city to protect someone. What does
Maybe.
he do when that happens? Does he like get a train?
Probably. he hitches a ride on the train.
Well, no, he did that. I think in Homecoming, he just like got on a train.
Oh, yeah.
From like New York to DC. I've been on that train.
Yeah, but that wasn't really like, oh, I have to go to DC to save someone.
Oh,
it was
you're
like
right.
in
Yeah, you're
context.
right.
It was in
Yeah.
context.
That's my favorite fucking thing, though, which is just like, if you want to commit a crime, just do it in Central Park and Spider-Man's fucked.
Like, there's nothing he can do. Like, you've won.
So how are we all feeling about Spider-Man?
This is my thing. You say like web swinging can only be so fun. No, it has to be as good or better than Spider-Man 2 for the PS2. Otherwise, it's a bad game because we've already made a game that good.
Yeah.
So anything less than that is like, what are you doing? How did this studio back then with the technology we had back in like what that game's old now? Like
That's PS2.
That was
That's like-
Treyarch.
Yeah,
That was
if-
the
if you-
Black
Oh
Ops.
my god, that was
Yeah,
fucking.
Or
That
no,
was
no, 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 no.
Treyarch.
Was that Treyarch? Web of
Let
Shadows was Treyarch.
me.
They
look
were
this
making
up
Spider-Man
real quick.
games for years before Call of Duty.
But like, okay, Spider-Man 2, if it's easy, it has to be on par or better than Spider-Man 2, or I don't care. Then it's a bad game, and I'm scared because what I saw from the trailers seemed very. It's easy. Just press the swing button. It should not be press the swing button. It should be like.
It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
mashing
it
buttons.
was Treyarch.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 Treyarch.
Wow.
It
Shit.
should like you know in Infamous 2 how it was literally like hold this button to just parkour.
Mhm.
That was so bad. Sorry, not Infamous 2. Infamous Second Son. That was so bad. It was like, hold this button and you can get anywhere. If Spider-Man does that, and I kind of worry because when he collided with walls, it didn't punish you. He immediately went into a wall-running animation. Maybe that's awesome. Maybe it's not.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I think it's gonna
They
be
need to do
awesome.
Just Cause 2 level. Of like, when you start, it's rough. By the time you're done with it, it's awesome and perfectly comfortable.
Actually, Just Cause 2 sounds really good. Yeah, the
Just
way they
Cause 2 is
upgraded.
like-
Yeah, well, the way they upgraded like the grapple in that game felt meaningful. Yeah,
They Just Cause 3, like, once you get the wingsuit, you got the wingsuit.
like and the zip boost. When you
Yeah.
get the zip boost for the grapple, it goes from you kind of like floating down to like being able to grab a thing and basically be out of control for the next 5 seconds is awesome.
If they get to the level of complexity and comfort of Just Cause
Yes.
3 grappling, that will be a great Spider-Man.
They're gonna build it as they did Batman Arkham Knight. I think.
Well, I'm worried because it sounds
Yeah.
more like they're trying to make an HD version of Spider-Man 2 and Web of Shadows and stuff. Like, is that game just an open world with randomized people who need help and the main mission marker with a beacon on it? Is that game?
I think it's gonna be that.
I just hope it's not that.
What do they do to make it different? Do you think that game's going to innovate really that much? Because so far they've mostly been saying like it's a return to form for Spider-Man.
I mean, as of animation and combat, I think it's
Yeah,
gonna,
yeah,
it's
sure.
The combat
gonna
looks
do
good.
that.
The
It
combat
looks
is
fantastic.
very fluid.
Quality
Is
Arkham
the combat
combat.
just going to be Batman though? Because Batman carved such a Batman the
works.
Arkham series was so good.
Yeah.
That now it's just like it's formed this kind of pit that so many superhero games fall into, and I'm scared that Spider-Man.
Famous superhero, Middle-earth Shadow War.
But like Spider-Man has got such like an awesome movement set to him. Like
Yeah.
the way that he functions as
Yeah.
a superhero.
It's so different from many others.
Yeah.
But it allows you to be really fucking creative with how he takes
Yeah.
people out.
Did you
I
play
feel
Web
like
of
they're gonna have
Shadows?
a lot of that.
Sorry, did you play Web of Shadows?
No, I haven't, no.
So Web of Shadows had a thing that was called parkour combat or something.
Okay.
And basically, you didn't have to stop swinging while fighting. Like, you could keep doing combos while you're on the thing, and you would basically grab a guy while you're swinging by and throw him out in front of you, and you could be doing combos while you're attaching, and you could basically carry a guy around the city while comboing. It was great.
Fucking cool.
Like Web of Shadows was awesome because they acknowledged the best part about Spider-Man, like you're saying, is when he's moving. Like the idea of standing still and waiting for counters sucks.
Yeah.
I do not want to do that.
Batman is the kind of guy where it's like you come at him, he's like, shut up. Like, that's
Yeah.
cool. Spider-Man is the kind of
Spider-Man-
guy that's like, what? And like he flies
Yeah.
across the room. Like,
Yeah.
you're like, whoa.
Yeah, you should fly through one window, grab a guy, ride him like a skateboard, and then jump out the other window and be gone.
And
I don't think they're gonna have that much movement going like in and out of combat like that. I think it's gonna be like more interacting with the object. I think in one of the trailers he actually shot
Yeah,
his
yeah, it's like
wrist
an
at
environmental.
at like
And then like a metal support beam or something like that. I
and
remember
then
that.
pulled it and it hit the guy and stuff like that.
yeah, let me do like the Just Cause. Like, you.
I want to do that while
Like-
moving. Yeah,
That
like,
would be so
like
sick.
everything about
awesome.
Spider-Man is
Yeah.
moving.
Just literally take Just Cause and turn it from a straight grapple to a swing and all the same abilities, and I would.
Were we
love
talking about this like months ago? Just cause
I think
swinging?
so.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the game dev class. But like that would be just the ability to be like, you two people, you're friends now. You're hanging for that lamppost. I'm over here now. Like, oh, you're shooting at me.
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
straight
it's
behind this
perfectly-
wall.
And you know, like just cause you have to aim to do that. But I think what could make this Spider-Man game really great is if you just had like pre-bound abilities where it's like attach two enemies together is a button you press, and while swinging through a fight, you can press that button. Spider-Man will let go for a second, shoot them together, and keep swinging.
Yeah, that would be
so
That'd be awesome.
cool.
But I also it's a balance because I want the ability to do it easily, so it's kind of like, you know, but I don't want it to be like, oh,
This game.
yeah,
You don't want it to be
know,
hand-holding.
Like Uncharted, like sometimes like
And-
if you happen to be in the right place at the right time, you get a cool animation. I don't want that. I want to be like, that guy is gonna hang on that light
Yeah.
post because I want it.
And that's like the
Yeah.
concern with PTs in that game is like people want to be controlling Spider-Man during those awesome bits because Spider-Man does really cool stuff to dodge all these cars and be running up walls and the dopest moments. AC Syndicate had this problem where it's like all the coolest parts you don't get to play.
Yeah.
And I'm
Because
worried
it turns
a
into
lot
an
about that.
animated
Yeah.
like attack, and I think it's definitely gonna do that.
And we were talking about how like in God of War,
Yes.
QTEs are good, and I agree with that, but I don't know why. Like,
I think the context matters because, like, as Spider-Man, he's part of a medium that's not like solely for video games, and you've seen him in like movies and comic books and TV shows and doing all this cool shit, and you want to do that, but you want to do it yourself without being like, oh, press a button.
Yeah.
And now he's like running up a building.
if they were like good QTs where it wouldn't just be press a button. It would be like hold a button or trigger or like move the left stick.
Doing like a
little bit.
combination.
Yeah.
Like to give you
Yeah.
instead of like just buttons, have like 10% input.
Yeah.
You know, it's mostly a cutscene,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
having
like-
some sort of control.
Yeah, a controlled scripted cutscene.
You know what
Yeah.
would be awesome, which they'd never do, but would work so well? Have you guys played Remember Me?
A little bit, yeah. I
Remember
played like the
me?
first 5 hours.
It wasn't a great game. Cool thing was you get to construct your own combos. So like each kind of button did its own thing, and you gotta build combos, and then like you'd lock it in. It's like, yes, this is one of my combos. And then if you landed one of the combos that you'd laid out for yourself, then you would do like more damage. And wouldn't it be so sick in Spider-Man if you could build your own combos and then be like, oh, thankfully I have a combo for like disabling people. I have a combo for like getting me out.
And that's why I'm worried about the Arkham Combat, is because Arkham Combat is like mostly flash animations that aren't in that much.
Yeah.
Like-
It's just press button to do damage, press button to not.
And there's skill to it, but it's mostly skill on how much damage you're outputting. It's not like how you're performing those actions.
And it's also like how much skill you have in chaining those combos.
Yeah.
And then there's
like-
just going to be different enemy types that you have to approach slightly differently and press a different button. And
But that works for Batman. That was
Yeah,
great
it
for
definitely
Batman.
does.
But Spider-Man is a combo hero. Spider-Man is not a gadget hero. He's a combo guy who
They're
like
making him more gadget. Recently.
I think they are, and again,
You think
it's
Iron
about-
Man's going to be in this game? Because
God.
they're
Is he
running
in this game?
I think Iron Man might be in this game.
If he is, I hope
they're
it's just
making him
a
a lot more
cameo.
gadget
Yeah.
heavy, and so Iron Man's bringing
Is this
gadgets
game
for
Maybe he might be like a maybe he might be a
Sony.
vendor.
Sony.
Yeah.
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 But
So
if
Sony still has the video game license for Spider-Man, I guess.
But if Iron Man's like a vendor that you go to and or like a mission giver, like I would
Iron Man's the
that.
guy with the exclamation point over his head.
Yeah, and he's like, and like you can go to him, and like that's how you level up. Like he's like, yo, like do you have enough of these parts or the schematics or whatever? And
That'd be cool.
you're like, here you go, and Iron Man's like, cool, I'll whip you up a new thing.
That would be cool, like if they tied. I don't know.
He
If
built
they
a
tied
new
it into
suit
the
out of
movie
Lego
like,
bricks.
somehow. I don't know.
It would be
Like one of the missions would be like, here you have to get this amount of parts, and once you do that, you get like the Robo, like the Iron Spider suit.
Spider suit.
The Iron Spider suit.
I hope they have multiple suits in the game because that would. Be
I do
fun
too, yeah.
to play.
I like-
Like,
like
multiple
class
suits that mean
types,
something.
No, just,
But it's like-
just
like-
outfits.
Video game, like superhero games have had that for ages, like Spider-Man and Batman, like Batman Arkham City had.
But
like, 50
I feel like it would.
But wouldn't it be cool
I feel
if
like
there
it
were
would-
class types, like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
that
why
would
you
be
take a
cool
lot of
too.
damage, but you don't got much movement. Or like, you know, like you're a squishy guy, but like, oh boy, you have a lot of ability.
I
I
feel
feel
like
like we
it
just
would be
haven't heard
cool.
enough about this game to be coming out this year. Yeah.
I feel like it would
Which
be
is weird because
cool.
they showed a lot of gameplay.
They did, yeah.
But I
when
still
they
don't really
first
have a good
announced it-
idea about what that game is.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just like, check out all these cool
Yeah,
animations.
yeah, it's just a
that
lot of
we have.
anecdotes.
Yeah, it's just to
Yeah.
show you that it looks like Spider-Man and.
Yeah, this is the Spider-Man you know and love.
Just like going back to the
That's-
suits for like a hot second.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if they had like what you said, like an armored, like different ability classes for the suits. But I feel like it should also have like a Guild Wars 2 kind of system where they have different stats and different abilities and strengths and weaknesses, but they also have the ability for you to reskin that purely cosmetically.
I love that. Fashion souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'll do that though.
They will not.
They won't do that.
Either-
In a perfect world, though.
Yeah.
Dude, when I can like choose, that's why I like card games. I know you're the card games guy, but like I like being like, yeah, my card's gonna look so fucking sick when I'm done with it. Like I don't even care about the
You
movies. I'm
weren't
like,
you weren't in my game studies class. Like I had an entire like 2 minutes dedicated to talking about the customization in Need for Speed Carbon and how
Do you think
fucking
Spider-Man will
good
get
it
to upgrade
was.
his horses? Sorry. Does Spider-Man get to upgrade his horses?
Yeah, dude. Shaw, of course.
Shaw.
Of course, dude.
Imagine it right there, like you come across like a spider horse, and you're like, fuck that.
That's a really gross
Wait,
image. Like a horse with 8 legs. It's just very sad.
I just imagined a horse with a regular horse, but with 4 extra legs, like spider legs,
Yeah.
and a big
Yeah, no, not
ass,
in a line.
And a big ass.
and a
like,
massive ass, just like sticking
Just
out.
like projectile fires just crapping
Yeah.
at you.
That's great.
Projectile horse shit.
We're highbrow comedy.
The horse
Of
can
course.
speak to you, but only in your mind.
Jesus Christ.
Spider-Man's sword glows blue.
I mean, we don't know price point yet.
I'm assuming.
I'm assuming $60
because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a Sony.
Look, this is really dependent on how much more comes out, but I actually kind of. This is either going to be really great or really bad, and it will be one or the other. And
I think
hope it's great.
it could be super mediocre.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Like
I
there is a
think
world where this
mediocre
game
is
controls fine and just feels unambitious.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't
See,
think it's going to be bad.
Yeah,
Well,
that's fair.
see, like, I don't really. I just want a good game, man. I don't really care if it's
Man,
like
I
super,
don't-
super ambitious. I just want a Spider-Man game that controls well, it feels good, and like it gets the job done.
Yeah,
I
like
just
do that.
want the webs to be webs. Make it so that they have to attach to something when I'm swinging. That's all I want. Just stop
going
this
up into the
bullshit.
sky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where
instead
it
of
just
going
like,
up to the
attaches to nothing.
what if it just spawns a helicopter every time you pull the right?
It's like, I like
You look behind you and there's
Lego
just like
Marvel.
20,000 helicopters in the sky.
But like Lego
Just-
Marvel,
Yeah, just there.
but like, it's just like, come on.
Expert speedrunners of the Spider-Man game, they actually play through the entire save file in Mash R2, so the sky is just blotted with helicopters.
But like, for me, it's just like even Lego Marvel kind of got close, where it's like, hey, maybe the swinging actually attaches to all the Lego bricks, like kind of. And that game is very unpunchable, but it's Lego, so you know.
Lego Marvel's fun.
Lego Marvel is the best Lego game in my opinion, but I love that game. But just make the webs, make them webby. That's all I want.
You heard
Make
it here
them webby.
first, Insomniac. Make the webs webby.
Make them webby. Yeah.
Listen, oh yeah, also, Insomniac, they're a good studio. I have faith. I have faith that they'll do
Ratchet and
it.
Clank.
They did.
They're
They
sick.
did make Ratchet and Clank. Exactly, that's what I mean.
Ratchet and Clank is dope.
Ratchet and Clank's fucking great, dude.
Except for All for One. No one liked that game. Next game.
So the next game is Detroit Become Human.
Okay, before I say, let me just look up who's making it because I don't want to be wrong.
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream. Okay, cool.
David
That's what it's
Cage,
about.
also
See-
known as the Sun King.
Oh,
Wait, we see the guy that's made all the.
he made
Fairy
Fairyland.
Ran Beyond Two Souls.
Nope, it's gonna be bad.
Agreed.
No, wait.
Bye.
Quantic Dream made.
You've heard the allegations against Quantic Dream, yes?
What? No.
Has no one? Oh yeah, no.
I
Like,
feel like
three
I've
different
heard
French,
something about it.
three different French newspapers like reported like a bunch of cases of sexual harassment by David Cage and the rest of the studio culture.
That's,
He asked people to refer to him as the Sun King, as in like Louis XIV.
That's.
And there also in the reporting was like instances of him like sending racist chain emails through the studio, like making fun of other developers working there. You cannot talk
That's
about
a good-
Detroit Become
that's
Human,
a good
a
argument.
game about what if androids were slaves,
Yep.
and not talk about the studio. Oh, by the way, his response to all of this was, I'm a good person, I'm a progressive person, some of my best friends are progressive people. He literally is like, I've worked with, like, Ellen Page. He's like, Ellen Page is a very big proponent of LGBT rights, and I worked with her.
Yikes.
Okay.
He obviously has
Cage is
not
like
gotten the
reflecting on
memo.
game on
It's,
it.
yeah.
Fucking hell.
I just wanted to get that out of the way because
Here's
It's
my
important.
opinion.
that is important.
I'd say we all agree that we condone, if that behavior is true, we all condone it.
Yeah.
But I also somewhat agree with the idea of separating the art from the artist.
yeah, and I want to talk about the game itself.
Unless
Like,
the art is
purely-
intrinsically separate, like in this,
Yeah.
it's like Eminem, and like his art is linked with him as a person. Like this has got nothing to do with David Cage as a person. So as much like.
and a lot of other people worked on that game besides
Yeah.
David Cage.
And David Cage
Yeah.
is like, if he's a piece of shit, he's a piece of shit. But like, game-wise, in my opinion,
Do you think it's going to be good?
I don't think it's making any new points. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
pretty boring to play, and I really with all these Android stories, I'm sick of the androids looking like humans. It's kind of whitewashing in a sense because it's
Well,
so easy
it's
to
just
relate to
boring.
them when
It's
they're
just sci-fi.
humans.
Yeah.
It's just the most bland, like androids are people too.
It's like
they
they're-
see something new.
It looks
Yeah.
like they're trying to make a statement without making a
If
statement.
this game
It's
came
like-
out
it's
before
like
Nier
me trying
Automata, it might have been
yeah,
better.
It's like they're
Like-
trying to be topical about something, but that's going on now, but they're not talking about
But
it.
we've already covered this with like Deus Ex has covered this.
Yeah.
Like we've done it.
Everyone
Not just Deus Ex,
remembers.
yeah, like
Everyone
Isaac
remembers the
Asimov
fucking
covered
what's it
this.
called? God, what was that trailer? The apartheid trailer for Mankind Divided.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not saying that was a good trailer, like that was actually
I mean,
really unrepresentative of that game.
It was a good trailer, like, before the game came out.
Yeah.
Like, it was
The Og Lives Matter bit was a little bit on the nose.
It was, but
Oh yeah, but like I mean, I thought that was like I know there's a difference between Augs and actual androids, but look, if you want to tell a story of androids, like Wall-E is cool because Wall-E's a fucking robot. That's what he is. Like these people are people that are just like let's be real, they're not androids. They're just people labeled with android to make.
Yeah,
a
they
point.
have the blue dot on the side of the temple that lets you know that they're not people.
And that's it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. And it's just
annoying.
commit to the android story. Tell stories of like literal AIs and explore the idea of what it would be like to be
And,
an AI.
and like I was saying, in a world where Nier Automata is out and is asking better questions than are robots people, like
yeah.
to go back to the well and be like, well, but are they? Like
Yeah.
I don't even care about the answer to that anymore.
Like what I want is like I want a game that's on the precipice of like the first android becoming a person and telling and exploring from a scientific and from an ethical standpoint what that progression would be like. What point does it become human? Like that gray area is something that we haven't explored, and that kind of idea of like the beginning of the uprising. That's cool, but
I
like
think that's kind of what this game is.
No,
It's
because
like
I'm talking about from a technological standpoint.
Yeah.
This game is like they're already there. These are already people. It's just the first one that like woke up. You know what I mean? I want to see like is it now it can function independently? Is it now now it has feelings? Is it now now it feels pain? Is it now like what point does it become a human? That's the interesting bit.
Did you
not the
see
bit when they're there.
I think it was at the PlayStation Experience or something a couple months ago. They showed a pretty lengthy bit of gameplay from
Paris Games.
Paris Games Week, where they showed off a hostage situation.
Yeah.
It was the same one that they showed off.
I feel like that was the best
Yeah,
that they showed
yeah,
of
because
so far.
For sure.
it's a bit of an easy scenario. It's like, oh, what do you do? It's a good question, but they still pulled it off, and it seemed like an interesting puzzle. Where it's like, there's all this information in space, you have so much time to read the information, and it seems like there is a good variety of meaningful choices in a pretty short amount of time. What I'm worried about is the majority of that game is like Knights of the Old Republic 2, do you want to be good or bad? Like, do you pick the guy or
Good
say
option,
like
bad
the
option.
means?
Instead of moral gray areas. But
Yeah.
I hope the game is more about those moral gray areas and more situations like the hostage situation.
More like the hostage
Yeah,
situation,
rather
less like
than-
another thing they showed was during like a protest. It's like, do you want to start a riot or do you just want to like be the protest? It's like the game is very clearly,
Infamous does that.
and the game is very
Infamous so black and
clearly
white.
saying which one's the good answer. It's like, do you want to start the riot and kill millions of people, or do you want to like argue calmly and have a good debate? It's like, what the fuck do you? That's not a question. That's just asking me which ending I want.
Infamous is cool because Infamous is not like a moral game. It's like, do you want to be a villain or a good guy? And that's a fun choice to make. But like Infamous,
Yeah, it's pulpy
intentionally
because it's
makes
pulpy.
those-
Yeah.
It intentionally makes that
Yeah.
distinction of like, this is evil, this is
And
good,
Knights of the Old
it's
Republic,
good.
because Star Wars is also pulpy. And it's
Yeah.
fun to be like, I want to be the goofy bad guy. But
Yeah.
Detroit Become Human doesn't look like that kind of game, but it looks like it's asking those
But
questions.
he's
I don't know if it's always going to do that because when they were showing off one of the other gameplays, it's like, do you want to try to escape through the window or do you want
Oh,
to
that
try
was
to
in
escape through
the house.
Yes,
with the kid.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think more situations like that where it's like, you know what you're trying to do, you know what your goal is. There's just different ways to go about doing it, and like one of them is going to be the right way, but you don't know which one it's going to be.
one of the
I like that one because there was very clearly like there was going to be harm inflicted with
Yes.
no matter what you picked, something bad was going to happen.
Mhm.
It just like depending on like which one's the least like bad thing, right?
One of the things that I've noticed about, like, this is, without wanting to get too philosophical, the nature of games and of coding is that everything needs to be some kind of variable, an integer, right? And that's not how ethics work. Like, ethics don't work on this, like, number value that goes up or down depending on your choices. Like, like a karma value. That's just not how it functions. And it's so much more complex than that. And the idea of, like, trying to represent choices and then having those choices affect how people react to you and, like, the direction of the story is so hard, man. And like games like Nier Automata, where it's like they pose these questions, but like it's not like, oh, are you gonna do A or B? Like, are you gonna be evil? Like they pose these questions and they explore them. That is the way to face ethics.
I think the best Quantic Dream game is actually just Black Ops 2.
Okay.
Because
I love Black Ops 2.
the moral decisions of Black Ops 2, they weren't just blatantly moral. It was just like, oh, did you chase the guy well enough?
Yeah.
And making choices be like in the game itself, as opposed to, again, like menu options.
I totally
best,
agree.
with any of these decisions, it's just best to make a decision, show the direct outcome of that, and then just ask the player, are you happy? Like, don't have people be like, hey, fuck you, man. Or like, oh, we love you, our leader. Just be like, just go to the player and be like, are you happy with what you've done? Do you think that that's the right choice? And let them decide. That's a way more impactful thing than to be like, have this integer that goes up and down. Because
You have
I'm
to
worried
avoid
that they're gonna do
the
that.
pitfall, though, of developers. The famous game developer statement: "We're not making answers. We're just asking questions." It's like that's a really annoying thing to say, and it's almost always untrue.
It's also incredibly cringy.
Yes. Oh yeah. Just from a marketing perspective, it's
Yeah.
annoying.
The worst thing I ever, like, the thing that, I love her story. I think it's a wonderful game. Basically, there were two theories as to what her story, like the story, because her story is about piecing together a story, right? Two leading ideas had come up for this game. It was like, it's either this conspiracy theory or this one. It's one or the other. And then basically everyone in the community was agreed it's one of these two stories. And then I think it was a woman who made it, I could be wrong, basically came out and was like, one of them is correct, I'll never say which. And I was like, you could have just said either of them could be correct. I would have been okay with that. Just say there is a right answer and I will never reveal which, and there's no way of us working. Maybe if she's like, there's one clue we haven't found yet. But I don't like it when they're like, there's a right way of playing this game, but we just won't tell you. And sometimes you get that vibe from those games, and that frustrates me.
Yeah, the ending where no one dies. It's like you beat Until Dawn.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got through with no one dying.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, Until Dawn's a whole other kettle
Yeah.
of fish. Like, that game is weird. I love it.
Until
but,
Dawn's
like,
actually quite a bit like Quantic Dream games.
Yeah.
It is.
in regards to like what, like the choices, like, you know,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
how you play that.
Shortcut or long way that's safer.
Yeah.
yeah. Until Dawn for me, I love that game because it's like watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a bad horror story, but it's fun in how bad it is. Like, that's why I love it. It's not like, well, this game is...
The thing I disliked about Until Dawn, and this is the thing that I'd be worried about Detroit, is just that the problem with Until Dawn's decision making was that a lot of times I felt like you couldn't really tell what the bad things that would happen from your choices were. It would be like, you can choose the long path or the windy path, and one of them will kill someone.
But you don't know which, and you don't
And
get to
the
tell.
thing that I really liked about the hostage situation was that it was pretty clear like what the penalties of each action were, and it wasn't so much guesswork as
Like,
balancing.
some of it could just be completely random.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. And
Yeah.
so you're like, okay, I made a choice at random because I didn't know which one.
Meaningful,
mattered.
specific
Yeah.
choices
They went
and
too hard with
situations that aren't binary are like the difference between
Butterfly effect.
Butterfly effect.
I was like, have you played that game? Because there's literally a line where he goes, boom, butterfly effect.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it
The
literally,
white butterflies.
it's so funny. It's like a fucking, like, you know those kids games where like it's like a hairdressing salon. Butterflies like burst across the screen. I'm like, what?
It's awesome. I thought it was awesome.
I mean, you're right. It's a balance of being like, these are the physical outcomes of your decision.
Yeah.
So you know that, but then the moral outcomes make them more blurry. Don't color code them unless you're doing pulpy. But don't also make it to the point where it's like, are you going to use a butter knife or a spoon for your just fucking spread your butter? And then it's like,
It's like one of them killed Debbie.
You picked the spoon.
yeah, Debbie needed a butter knife. You fool.
Yeah, she needed the knife.
Great.
8
Now
hours
she has
later.
no left pinky.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, and that kind of stuff.
There'll be like a moment when she's being dragged away by the murderer, like at the end of the game, and she reaches into her pocket and goes like this, and it's like, if only you had the butter knife.
She has a spoon and she's like, no, and she tries to like pierce his skin with the
Yeah.
spoon and nothing happens, and she's like, why? You're right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Fucking Jesus Christ.
Last of Us 3, Days Gone. Zombies.
Fuck off.
Zombies are liquid.
Oh my
Liquid
lord.
zombie. Liquid thing.
What?
Zombie.
What? I'm sorry?
He's talking about Days Gone.
Days Gone. Sony game,
Yeah.
Days Gone, third person action adventure game.
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah.
And the main pitch of it seems to be like what was the zombie movie with Brad Pitt?
World
World War Z. It's like, what if zombies could pile on top of each other?
Yeah.
Aha! Yes.
Which is basically someone took World War Z and was like, what if this wasn't World War Z?
Great, now we have 2 World War Z games on the way. Yeah, there's another one being made.
When was the last time we saw that game?
Which?
When was the last time we
Games.
saw Days Gone?
We didn't see it at Paris Games Week, did we?
I feel like we haven't seen Days Gone.
This is one of those games where I don't know.
Do we think Days Gone comes out this year?
Yes.
I think so.
Because The Last of Us 2 is probably coming out this year.
Actually,
Do you think they're really going to release it with Last
No,
of Us?
they're not.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
they're
one
not.
of them won't come out this
Oh.
year. Because I feel like those games are very
They haven't
similar.
released either.
Or at least their marketing are very similar, you know.
But it's, you know, like, you know what, like, we are getting to the point of oversaturation of zombies, and I just, like, there are zombie games that are good and need to stay, and there are a lot of zombie games where, like, you can leave now.
I
Please stop
100% agree.
Yeah.
See,
I'm
Last
sorry,
of Us...
Days Gone is all caps, stylized.
Okay. The thing that The Last of Us did really well was that...
I forgot what they called zombies in this game. Freakers.
Oh my
Freakers?
Freakers!
Call them freakers.
Yeah, they call them freakers.
Freakers are coming!
There is
They gotta change the name so that it's not
I remember,
cliche.
God,
Oh yeah, I
when
forgot
that
they
game got announced.
copyrighted zombies, didn't they?
There was like a really good.
pretty sure
Every
Activision-
zombie universe needs their weird name for zombies, walkers, or whatever. But I think it was like the Polygon breakdown of when they were announcing videos at E3 like 2 years ago, and Griffin McElroy thought that he had said creamers. There was a wave of creamers coming over the wall.
Like that's a Dunkin' Donuts like spin-off ad. Like, the creamers are too many, and like cream donuts like pile over.
It's just like shittily photoshopped creamers, like Boston cream donuts just piling on top.
It's just like an inconspicuous white liquid, just like pouring over the wall. It's like no. What is it? No one will know.
It's
Oh
so
no,
sweet.
not the custard! Oh no!
It's so tangy.
It's sweet and delectable and only available for a short while at your local Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, that's like
That's the end credits for that
Yeah.
game. This entire thing was just a commercial that you paid money for.
Jesus. I don't have a lot to.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
the Wikipedia page is 3 paragraphs long.
I feel very lukewarm about this game. I mean, the gameplay looked kind of
A
cool.
lot of people are excited for it.
I mean,
Really?
I'm not.
I think so.
No, there are people. There are
I
people.
feel like most people are just kind of apathetic.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a small.
Not hate. That
There's a
game
small
could be good.
group of people that are.
But Sony
excited
hasn't
for it.
given me a good reason to be interested.
Exactly. I mean, the gameplay looked cool. Like
Yeah,
the
fine.
actual like where you have different branching paths again, but like
Branching paths.
but still,
Branching
it was
paths.
very cool. And also like the dynamic weather, because like when they showed it off at E3 this year or last year on stage, they had it like where it was sunny or different kind of weather, and then they did like a different demo where it was snowing and that was different. Like that's pretty cool.
So
it was pretty
different like 8 times.
different.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
I feel like
but like
This
I-
is
it's
the
just,
first new IP from the Siphon Filter people.
look, this game
Really?
is like
Ben hasn't made a different game
Yeah,
since
like-
then?
This game is a
That
blank
can't
slate
be
to
true.
me.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you go?
Siphon Filter until 2007.
But is this game
Wait,
just
go
gonna be as
look at their like.
or like this game can be anywhere between incredible and terrible
Oh,
because it's
No,
such a
go
blank
to
slate
their
setting.
page and see like.
I don't think it's gonna be incredible.
Okay.
I think it will be either average
Yeah,
or
see,
bad.
they worked on other people's
Yeah, okay.
IPs.
I feel like when you're working with zombies, that game could be as amazing to as terrible as you make it. Like
They made
Bubsy
zombies
3D.
is like doing a story about
Yo, guys,
it's like
guys,
writing a love
time
story.
out, time out.
Time out.
Yeah.
Days Gone is being made by the Bubsy 3D people.
This is gonna be game of the year. It's gonna be game of the year.
Holy fuck, we needed a timeout for that. I need a timeout.
To be fair, that was over 20 years ago. Yeah, it's like 20.
22. Yeah.
Some mistakes take more than 20 years to mend. Some wounds take a lot of time to heal. I don't think I'm ready for another Bubsy.
Okay, well, to be fair, they also made, what is it, Golden Abyss? For the
Yeah, it sounds like from 2009 to 2012, they were kind of just making like Sony PSP games. They were a PSP
Excuse me,
studio.
Vita.
Vita, sorry. Resistance games, Uncharted games. They were so yeah. Again, I guess excited about it in the same way as God of War.
I mean-
and then it's a studio that gets to do what they want. Like it sounds like maybe they wanted to pick this as opposed to doing someone else's IP, but also I don't care.
It's gonna be a $60 game.
It's good. Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
not worth it for me.
Nope.
Well,
Yeah,
not
okay,
worth
interesting
not
to
worth
show
it
that.
until I see more because we
Yeah.
haven't seen anything about it yet.
I'm not interested. You're not interested. You're waiting.
I mean,
this game, a thumbs down.
2 thumbs down.
I give it 2 chickens out of 9. No, I mean, like, this for me.
I'll
we'll
give it
see.
2 kangaroo steaks out of 12.
Buddy, I think going to 8.5.
Are there radio stations in Australia?
We've gone that far down the tech tree that we have radio. We're excited. The
We
internet-
finally have FM.
You're about to get nuclear death robots.
We're so
Oh
excited.
my god.
You know, Australia has like the worst internet in like the world. It's so upsetting
Find
that
out
like
later,
there are
Dave.
third world countries that have like faster internet than Australia. It's like, what are we doing?
Yes.
Why, like, how with like our economy have we not at least gotten?
How many koalas do you have, though? Like,
Just the straight
as someone that has never gotten to meet
The
a
ratio
koala,
of
I think that's
koalas
a
to
pretty
people is
balanced
how you
payoff.
dictate how well your internet should be.
Jesus.
I mean, like, okay, back to the
The
game.
famous Mendowski koala principle.
Australian talk. No. Welcome to Australia talk. I mean,
Okay, speaking of Days Gone, The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
Last of Us Part 2.
Please.
sorry.
I want it now. I want it now.
Do you know what the quote that got me excited for this game was?
The first, this is, I can't remember exactly. It was basically the first game was a game about love.
This one's gonna be
about
a
hate.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I love it.
This
I
is-
love Neil
This
Druckmann
is the dark
so
middle
much.
chapter
but
of
it's like,
Last of
the
Us.
first one was so gritty, and when you're like, yo, you know this character that you love now?
I don't think
now
it needs to
she's
be
filled
any
with
gritty.
vitriol. You're like,
It's like that gif of JonTron where he's like,
One of
that
my
one, exactly.
my girlfriend's friend from high school is one of the kids in that trailer.
Whoa,
and
shit.
yeah, and
Left.
she was asking me whether that was a big get, and I was like, "That's basically the Godfather of video games." I think like
Yeah.
landing The Last of Us 2 is crazy. I'm curious to see how different
Wait,
the
which
gameplay
kid?
is.
Left.
It's the bald one.
Left.
I think.
Okay.
I'm just like,
The one with the bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn,
that's really
Yeah,
cool.
no.
That's
She
cool.
went to a high school in like DC, so they're all fucking rich.
So cool.
But this is not the kind of game where, like, for me, I don't want to read every single thing about this game.
I want to
Yeah, yeah.
I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
That's like that. That's
Need
enough.
more.
I'm
I
curious
don't
to
wanna-
see how different it is, though. Like, do you think that game, in the new Uncharted game, there's like that mini open world bit? Do you think The Last of Us is gonna have a mini open world bits?
This is one of those few
I-
games where I hope they don't make a huge departure from the last one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weirdly. I hope that the story goes to brand new places. I hope the gameplay is different. But you know, I really
How different? How?
I want Ellie to be able to do different things to Joel, but I don't want it to be worlds apart. I want
Yeah.
them to be pretty much.
Do you want to
Question.
like, switch back and forth between them?
Maybe that
Question.
cool. Hey,
How big of a role will Joel have in this game? Because very
I think
clearly,
he plays Ellie.
yeah. Well, obviously, there's no way that you don't play as Ellie for a majority of the game because Joel was there for like he only said one thing
In the
in
trailer.
that entire trailer, and the rest of it was Ellie.
Also, finally, female protagonist that's actually not just like battered and bruised for the sake of it.
They did that in
Yeah.
Uncharted. They did that in the new Uncharted.
They did, yeah.
But Tomb Raider was kind of like, we're gonna beat her up for the sake of it, so that she can be interesting. And like, I feel like Ellie playing as Ellie is one of those characters that's like harrowed, that like you've
This is-
seen through that journey with her.
This
I
is
get
why
so
Neil
many shits
Druckmann-
about her.
I'm
Neil
worried-
Druckmann is one of the best writers ever.
I'm worried because that
So
trailer,
good.
the most recent trailer, was basically torture porn. And Ellie's character is still only like 16 or 17,
No.
I think, in this
but
game.
like,
right?
emotionally,
No, I
she's
thought she was 19.
Older? Okay,
Yeah,
but
she's older.
still, like,
emotionally
I'm
young.
worried there's going to be parts in this game. Like, there are parts. Last of Us was a raw game. Like Nolan North plays the cannibal dude or whatever. Like in the snow,
David.
I think.
Yeah.
David.
He plays David.
But that moment was harrowing without being grotesque, if that makes sense. Like, that moment didn't have to show you much to scare
I
you.
don't know. It was still kind of gross.
Yeah, it was, but I think the new trailer is miles beyond that, where they hold the person down and are like, let's
Oh,
take a
yeah,
hammer
that's
like
a good
14 times to your arms
Yeah.
until it like comes off.
kind of going over the top like more. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't think
Was,
they need.
yeah.
They don't need to sell
They
Last of
don't-
Us on gore. Like, I understand The Last of Us world is dark. You don't need to sell me on how dark your
But just
world
remember
is.
that
I think-
there's a very different set of people making that game and making that trailer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the people in the
Yeah.
suits being like, we're gonna sell this, and like the game might be much more nuanced.
Yeah,
Like,
and like some people I've heard of, but just pointing out the idea that maybe that was the only thing they had done.
That might just be a good point to not reveal too much about the characters
Yeah.
that they wanted to show
Yeah.
off as well.
I'm curious.
I'm so hyped.
I'm just
finally-
excited beyond words.
Do you think
There's
that
no
game's
word
gonna
in
come
the
out this year?
dictionary that can-
What? Do you think this game comes out this year?
I
Yes,
doubt it.
absolutely.
Really?
It has to.
I think it's going to come out for the Christmas season.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, for me,
It's a good time for it to
You know,
release.
I feel like they're
we
going to
still
try it
haven't
out for
seen
one more year.
gameplay, right? We haven't seen the game.
We
run.
have not
and,
seen
and I
it.
think that's
It's-
kind of
it's not really
Naughty Dog's
selling
thing.
point.
Like Naughty Dog
Yeah.
tends to not show things until they're pretty polished.
also because they're very story-driven games. Naughty Dog
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I love Naughty Dog.
Like the odds of pulling a Halo 2 and having a scene that's never in the game is way too high when you're making a game that's story based.
Yeah.
And that high budget, too.
Yeah, totally.
But like
That's
for
expensive.
me, I love like Clementine is such an incredible character in The Walking Dead because you've been through her entire struggle, and now she's gotten to the point where like she's fucking badass and she knows her shit, and you know exactly why. And I feel like The Last of Us is a more condensed version where it's like, okay, you haven't been through every adventure ever with her, but you know why she's at this point in her life, and you feel that. And that means that the investment in the character and her pain and her suffering is so strong.
This is another point that I forgot to make when we were talking about Days Gone, is that, like, the difference between... Like, obviously, you made the point that it's, like, the market's just oversaturated with zombie games. But the thing that sets The Last of Us apart from everything else is that it's like, a majority of it's about the characters.
It's about people.
It's about the people and their struggle and their experiences with each other and the world around them.
Yeah.
Like-
It's beautiful. Like, it's, oh my god, dude. The first Last of
The
Us.
soundtrack was really good. Are they getting Gustavo Santaolalla?
Oh, yeah, no.
Are they getting the same guy?
I'm pretty sure.
Because I still listened to it. That was a very good soundtrack.
Riley uses that for goddamn D&D sessions, and he
Oh my god, yeah.
he brings it out without warning, and I'm always like,
There's a song called like The Smugglers.
Stop
It's like
doing
and like the drums come in and it's so hype, but only uses like 2 instruments.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Like, I just that moment, The Last of Us has this ability to be an incredibly gritty game, but then it gives you things like the giraffe moment, where it's like, oh my god,
yes.
like this game is not gritty for the sake of gritty. This is just like that giraffe moment just took my breath away. And I was sad they showed it in the trailers, but it was just like this moment of like, wow. These people are telling this full story. That's not gritty for the sake of gritty. It's not happy for the sake of it. Everything happens beautifully. Like it's composed in this kind of emotional chart that you move through. Is like
What does
it is
Ellie want her home
perfect.
for? What happened to Ellie?
We
Is it
don't
her
know.
mom?
Oh, her parents.
Her
are
parents.
gone.
Yeah, she wants to kill whoever killed her parents.
So that's probably the fire.
I'm pretty sure.
But we don't know.
Alive.
We
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
And it's also like we get to see the world after like we live in the world that Joel made.
Yeah.
Because Joel, like, spoilers, Joel could have saved the world.
He could have, yeah.
And he didn't.
Yeah.
That was
Oh, she's probably gonna find out about that at
She
some
probably
point.
knows by now, actually. It's been
I don't
like...
think she
I don't know. No, I think that's the
she
thing they
knows.
say for screen time.
Do they?
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
dude. There's no way they're gonna have that.
Yeah,
moment out of
yeah,
time. Like
no
that is
way.
such a.
That's not gonna be.
That's a defining moment.
It's like
That's
3
a
years
defining moment.
He still hasn't told her.
That's like this is like I'm so sick of superficial flaws. The moment when Joel decides no,
It's a really good moment,
Like
yeah.
I love and care for this girl more than I care for the entirety of the world. It's like that is a flaw that is redeeming and yet so damning at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the most selfish decision you could make.
And I think the power of that moment was there wasn't a lot of dialogue.
It
They
was
just kind of let it breathe.
Mm.
Yeah.
And to live in the aftermath of that choice, to not just leave that and now be like, no, now we're gonna deal with the consequences. That is raw feeling, man. That is so cool.
I'm getting goosebumps right now just remembering it.
I think my counterpoint to you guys not wanting the gameplay any much different is because I think they have a chance here to tell a really good sequel story.
Yep.
And I think they already have guaranteed sales and they have the chance to kind of do whatever they want. So I hope they go for it. I hope this isn't just a sequel to continue a story, to write more good story. I want it to be like across the board impressive.
At the same time, I don't want them to veer too far off
Yeah,
in their
yeah.
formula because
I
they did it
trust them.
so well
They have a chance. They have a chance to hit it out of the park in a way very few games get a chance.
Exactly. Like what they did with Uncharted 4 was they introduced new things.
Yeah,
But
but it was
they
still
did it in
familiar.
a way exactly.
Yeah,
They did it in a
exactly,
way
yeah.
that wasn't so far.
And that's
off
what I
from
want to
the
see. That's what I want to see.
I don't expect them to reinvent the gameplay. If the story goes in a really new direction, I'm okay with it. I trust them. I trust them not to just tell the same story and to go somewhere new.
The Last of Us 2 Battle Royale.
Oh my god.
100 Joels. What would be flying through the air? Is it an alley?
A giant clicker.
A giant clicker and 100 Joels.
But like once again, that's like I get where it's like, holy fuck, that is a battle royale.
Only this one's different because Joel can build
multiplayer
things
what?
like walls and houses.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
never make that. But like the multiplayer of Last of Us was
People liked it.
Oh god,
Yeah.
do you think there's gonna be a multiplayer?
Oh,
They
yeah,
did
no.
multiplayer last time. It was really
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, it was
I
solid.
played
It was great.
Yeah.
I played like a couple hours of it, yeah.
Underrated, but great.
Yeah, it was
Do you remember the Facebook integration of that? Remember, it was like it would change the names of your survivors to people on your Facebook friends list and then show them dying.
Oh,
Like it would show little like Oregon Trail cutaways. That was a weird
Fun.
multiplayer.
Fun.
They might have a battle royale. Like
That's what I was saying.
I could see. I was joking, but I
actually that would be that would
The
be kind of
zombies battle
interesting.
royale.
Does- well, like,
the only-
never made that.
No,
Sony-
yeah, it would be interesting. They wouldn't do that because it would
yeah,
take, it
because
would
Naughty
be
Dog has too
it
much
would-
independence.
it would be such a total shift
I think if it
from
was
the story and the
I-
normal multiplayer
I don't
to
know.
a battle royale.
I think it's more. I think it's more in line with the tone than a regular
It could
multiplayer.
work.
The
I don't-
tension of sitting in a room and not having a lot of ammo is.
I
very
think
like-
And running from other players
Yeah.
that are playing as clickers.
That's maybe, but like
I don't think
feel
they're gonna do it.
I
unless
feel a
it's
battle royale.
Yeah, with Naughty Dog Studio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
They're-
feel like it would. I feel like a battle royale would work in Days Gone, but it wouldn't work in The Last of Us.
Okay, yeah,
It's
I
not
can
gonna
see
happen.
that.
I just
It's
The
not
Last of
gonna
Us,
happen.
no, but like The Last of Us, if you have really limited resources and the main battle is surviving against the zombies, and there's a small bit where it's like with people that you don't know whether or not to trust them. There's a lot you can do there, quite totally
Actually, that-
accurate.
In that respect, it would
Yeah.
probably.
No, I think there's room for
Never,
it.
and we're in a very hypothetical
Yeah, well,
realm.
yeah.
But also that game, yeah,
It would also be cool if they introduced like a four-player co-op kind of.
maybe.
And you know, The Last of Us
That would
really-
again. It wouldn't. That wouldn't.
If-
happen.
if
The Last
they
of Us
have
has
any
a super simple
multiplayer.
crafting system, that would be great.
Because I feel like 2012
Oh, yeah,
was
no.
still the time of like crammed in multiplayer modes, and we're
Yeah.
kind of out of that. And
Yeah.
so,
yeah.
I don't think it's gonna have a
Focus on
multiplayer.
what they want.
I think there's like a weirdly good potential for Battle Royale in The Last of Us, but I don't think it's.
I think they're gonna have multiplayer.
Again,
For all their other games.
Battle Royale would work better in Days Gone and not less, in my opinion. Because like for
There's
me,
no way to
Battle Royale is just such a total shift from the game. Like it would just bring me out of it. At least that's what I think.
Do you
Like
think
Days
The Last of Us
Gone is
2
like
has
a
loot
brand new.
boxes?
What?
Do you think Last of Us 2 has like loot boxes?
No.
You can get a better Ellie.
Get a better Ellie.
Just like to make it horribly sexist.
I got a
Just
purple
like,
Ellie.
oh, you unlocked D cup. Hold on. Just like take away everything good about the game and deface it with like fucking like.
If they did
now
that-
all the zombies were elf costumes.
Listen, if they did do
For
that, Neil
Christmas,
Druckmann would have to be
Christmas.
shot because he would be so against
It's
it.
one of those giant bomber dudes that shoots the spores at you.
Fat ones, yeah.
That game is so beautifully just like untouched by greed and just like.
Because their studio is.
I mean,
they are held above
It's-
corporate
yeah.
expectation.
And if they just fall even slightly into that, I'm gonna be shattered, man. I'm gonna be so
So,
sad.
Listen, there's no way they would go. As long as Neil Druckmann is the lead designer at Naughty Dog, there's no way. Bless up Neil Druckmann.
Bless
It goes without saying that we're all really interested in that game. And that wraps up our games for 2018. We do have one other game on this list. It's a game for never. It's a game called Death Stranding.
Okay, Nephra.
I don't want to spend too much on this because it's basically trailers. It is.
It's the one.
is, yeah.
It's the one trailer. Nephra, you have a point on this, which I agree with. The dream, like the whole like I was talking to Nephra.
Are we going to start like interpreting
was-
these
No,
trailers?
but
as
Nephra,
though
you
they're-
basically said to me, If this is a dream, I'm gonna be so mad. If
Oh,
this
yeah,
is
no.
hallucinating.
Oh no, I will jump out a window.
That better not be like some PTSD bullshit where he's like hallucinating some impossible. That better be like, this is the world they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so at the end of the game, he wakes up and he's in the hospital or something.
But like, not even
Bam! That's the prequel to Metal Gear Solid 5.
I want to subscribe to the theory that this entire thing isn't a game. It's just a series of trailers, and then at the end, it's going to be revealed that he never actually left Konami, and this has been in Metal Gear, and that Konami isn't a terrible company. Like that's the plot twist.
no!
That's the plot
my
twist.
God.
Is this entire thing has been like a 7-year charade.
I kind of buy it. I feel like,
You know what? Honestly,
Kojima's last thing, and then he like throws off his hat and just disappears into the wind.
I would subscribe to that if that actually happened.
I would be sold. I would
Listen, I don't want to hate Konami. I really don't. They have so many good properties.
I mean, do they use them?
Exactly.
When did the last Contra game come out?
When was
did
the
the
last
last good
Castlevania?
Contra game come out?
Exactly. Actually, it came out last year. It was called Cuphead.
Oh yeah.
Because on your point about like if he wakes up at the end of the game, I wouldn't even mind if he woke up at the end of the game and the whole game was set in a dream. Okay, fine. If that's like an opening sequence and then he wakes up and then he's like in the space station and that was like a nightmare.
How much
or
like
something
something
like that? I'm gonna be so angry.
How much like Metal Gear Solid do you think this game is? Do you think it's a third-person action game?
Yeah,
I think so, yes.
No, it's definitely third person.
Third person shooter.
Third-person shooter, yeah.
I think it's
I
don't think it's gonna be as close as
I think it might be a little bit like a survival horror game, maybe. Like maybe Evil Within, sort of.
I feel like it would
Like Evil Within has the trippy environments and it's hiding, but also the shooting.
What I feel like it would be is it's going to incorporate elements from Metal Gear Solid 5 and PT.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it's gonna be
Wow.
it's gonna be a third person like action adventure game, but it's gonna have like the creepy and dark
trippy
and the trippy elements
Yeah.
of PT. Because let's be honest, those 3 trailers that they showed off for the game, they have no like connection to each other at all. Besides the fact that there's a baby and Norman Reedus. That's it. There's nothing else. That's it. Go home.
You managed to pop the filter. I'm sorry.
Hey, we did it.
We got to the end, but you did it.
We did it. Good job. Can we every show from now on next week?
That's when the thing ends. We just end it now. Done.
All right, the filter's gone. Done.
I mean, like, that's it. That's all the games. Like,
It's a fingernail clipping on my chair. Thanks, Luke.
You're welcome.
Disgusting.
You're welcome. Okay, well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
good job.
What do you think? Death Stranding's gonna be good? Think it's gonna be okay?
I really hope it is.
Do you think Kojima without an editor is better with Kojima with an editor?
We don't know.
Yeah.
Listen. All I want at the end of the game, like at the final credit scene, I just want that video of Kojima going, "Did you like it?" That's all I want. That's all I want.
And also like a lot of Metal Gear throwbacks just to be done.
It's a fucking good game.
I want Norman Reedus to say like kept you waiting, huh?
Oh my lord.
And then like
Smell makes
wink right
appearance.
at the camera, and everyone will be like, awesome, they kept making Metal Gear. Like, but yeah, that's it. We went through the list.
Awesome.
Everyone pat yourself on the back.
We did it. But we also got a few honorable mentions I want to talk about here.
Oh god. Listen, it's not.
We are at an hour and 50 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so that's why we don't want to talk more about these guys. But there's some really good ones. So we also got Ghost of Tsushima coming out.
Is that made by
That was
the
Sucker
English
Punch.
people?
Yeah, that's Sucker Punch. It looks good.
I feel like I was just starting to ask what the hell Sucker Punch doing like a couple months ago, and then that came out. Like,
Yeah.
Next up, we got The Crew 2. For their
I
own.
Okay, it's alright. I mean,
You
I
can
didn't
get
like the crew.
airplane.
The crew sucked for me. I really didn't like it. But I mean, hey, look, it looks
Yeah.
different. The handling looks better.
There's a lack of good racing games.
I'll give that a definite maybe out of 10.
Okay, next.
Next up, we got Faye. It's a Switch game, and
Fee or
is it
F-E?
Fee or
Is that
Faye?
F-E?
It's just-
Yeah, I think it's pronounced
it's
Fee.
Fee. Okay, Fee.
It's like the weirdly
Is it
journey.
is
It's
it
like a sort of
exclusively
journey.
for Switch? What?
I don't know if it's
I thought that was a
exclusive.
PlayStation.
Yeah, no, I thought.
I saw it on the Switch store. So
Okay, so it's probably for all consoles then.
so it looks interesting.
Everything is set up.
We also got Kingdom Hearts 3.
Not coming out. It's not.
It's a myth.
No,
It
no,
don't
no, no.
exist.
They did another announcement at the D23, the Disney Expo, and they said that apparently they have like a working build of like being able to transition
Didn't they
worlds and play
just
levels.
like
that
show
you
off a
previously
trailer
saw.
like a couple days ago?
Yeah.
I honestly think that
like
game
when they
comes
were
out this
making
year.
this list.
Yeah, when we
They've
were
been releasing
Showing off a
trailers.
trailer.
Like they're releasing trailers every 2 months now. Like Kingdom Hearts is having the kind of extended like marketing presence that only happens once you can see the end.
I hope it's garbage. I hope it comes out, and all these people, I don't care. So like, I never liked Kingdom Hearts. So all these people that are like, oh my god, I hope it's like fucking like, welcome to Loot Box Simulator. That would make me. I don't know why. I just
There's
like,
like
I want to
Pixar
slide the
worlds.
pen base.
What? Like the only worlds they've announced for that game besides Tangled have all been Pixar. It's like Toy Story, it's Monsters Inc. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I know.
Monsters Inc.
Oh, what do you think? Like, what was the old man with the balloons?
Up.
Old man.
Old man with the balloons.
I don't want them to touch up. Don't go near that.
I want them
What
to
a beautiful
implement.
story that
I
should
want.
never be
I want
I
Up
want
to be the
Sora
biggest
to
part
touch
of
up
that
so
game.
much.
I want Up to be the biggest part of that game. The biggest part.
You can die.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Next up, we got Metal Gear Survive.
Fuck that
The
game.
the beta was weirdly okay. It was terrible, but kind of fun.
Fuck that game. Fuck that game so hard.
Okay.
Dude, there was a video on YouTube that like I think it was IGN. Fuck IGN, but it was by them.
Wow.
Fuck the Oscars. Fuck Ubisoft. Fuck EA. Fuck Konami. Fuck IGN. Fuck Metal Gear Survive.
I'm the fire starter. What do you want me to say?
You fucked the man too many times. I think we can just say never fucks men.
Just
leave it at that.
Yeah.
Alright, with that, next one is Vampire.
That's from the Don't Nod. That's
Yes.
What game did they make? It was like the Walking Dead game. Those girls. They're in high
maybe.
school.
What?
What game?
There's girls. They're in high school.
No, it's like the girl with the blue hair.
Don't
Let's do a
Time travel.
let's
Time
do a-
travel.
wait.
Help me out here.
No, Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. Yeah, Life is Strange.
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Come on.
There's girls that are in high
There's
school.
girls high
I
school.
don't know.
Something about time travel.
That's basically that game. Right? I haven't played. I heard there's a really cool plot twist like halfway through it. And
It's a good game. You should play it. It's worth it. It's worth
I haven't seen anything about Vampire, even though I think they've been showing gameplay and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a
So
few
what the-
videos.
I've-
I like it.
I've
I'm
heard
interested
the
in it.
name.
What is it
You told me
even?
about it.
It's kind of like a story-ish game where you make decisions and stuff, and then the gameplay.
People have been talking about like it's an action RPG
Yeah.
sometimes. Like, are there combos?
Yeah.
Do you upgrade
Yeah.
like skill bars? Do the numbers get bigger? That's what I'm asking.
I think it's skills.
Yeah.
Like you get different skills.
To the numbers get
by like eating different people.
Oh, that's kind of
And
neat.
they're like interesting characters, so if
I
you
should
eat
look
them,
into that.
you have like consequences.
Are there high school girls in time travel?
Maybe.
Not interested. Anyways, next.
Next up, we got Code Vein, Anime Souls.
Anime Souls. Have we seen that at all?
I've seen some gameplay of it. I just like Dark Souls.
I've seen the name
Souls-like
around.
games.
How much souls?
It's like faster than Dark Souls.
But like,
slower than
are there
Bloodborne.
checkpoints where you go back to it and your health potions get refilled and enemies respawn?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Yes. So-
This Surge 2 got announced. They're making a Surge 2.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I remember
I
that.
liked Surge. Surge was a good game.
Yeah.
It's got very. I've never got my hands on it. It got
That
extremely.
game is like
reviews.
Warframe, I feel like, in that like not a lot of people talk about it, but
Do you have, I forgot, did you put, oh God, what was it called? Biomutant on the list?
No, I did not.
Alright.
Yeah.
Quick.
oh, is that the
like-
Just Cause people?
No.
Side notes with Nethy Boy.
Silent Boy,
THQ.
you're like the little raccoon.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
like-
Avalanche.
Is it?
This is Just
Oh,
Cause.
I don't know that. Anyway, it's basically Warframe. You and I watched gameplay like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
It's basically Warframe, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks interesting. I'm gonna. I don't know if I want to buy it like as soon as it comes out, but I'm definitely interested. Like I want to know more.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know more.
And the last one on our list is THQ coming back with Darksiders 3.
I don't know anything about Darksiders.
Darksiders is like Zelda Diablo.
Yeah.
Like old school Zelda. Like Ocarina of Time.
I love the Darksiders game.
Really?
I do.
Wow. Are you hyped?
Yeah.
God They lost Kevin.
The most interesting part of Darksiders 3 is that THQ has been revived.
Yeah.
Like, that's the weirdest fucking thing.
What? They went bankrupt. Right.
Yeah, so what happened was Nordic made the Darksiders games, and when THQ went under, they bought their license and renamed themselves THQ Nordic and made the Nordic very small. And they're like, THQ back, baby.
It's like,
oh yeah,
THQ Nordic.
aliens killed my parents.
Also, another THQ Nordic game. I don't know if you guys remember because it was like 30 seconds at the VGAs, but it was Fate to Silence.
No.
Don't remember?
Oh, is that the one?
It was the
walking
winter.
simulator?
I don't know.
No. That's something else.
It was the winter one, the one in the snow.
Yeah.
That looks.
That looks weird.
That looks weird.
I don't know how to feel about
They didn't show
anything.
They didn't show anything off. Like it's already available for pre-order on Steam, and apparently it's got mixed reviews.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Can you review things before they come out?
Probably.
We should go.
Let's review bomb.
Yeah.
Review bomb Fate to
That would be the
Silence.
responsible thing to do.
Alright.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the list.
We did it.
We did it.
Video games are done.
Yay, we got those video games.
We don't actually have to
First
play
and
any more
last
video
podcast.
games.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank God.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
All the Steam games gonna be released.
Nut.
Thousands and thousands of crappy games.
See that line right there? That's you.
Oh, I'm
That
glad.
one.
Did you pop it again?
Yeah.
Did I?
Oh, no.
Okay,
It's
we're
alright.
done.
It's
We're
alright.
done.
Bye. Go home. Jesus Christ.